Hey, everybody, welcome to the SEAL Podcast, episode number 265, I believe, for the 21st of March, 2025. My name is Fraser. I'm joined on my left by Neil.
Hello. Yeah, you had.
And on my right, the return of Dave.
Hello. Hello again.
All right.
Very well, thank you.
Yeah,
Why
welcome,
are
everyone.
you disappearing off the bottom of your screen?
Who, me?
Yeah. What's
I'm
going on?
hunching over. I'm hunching over.
It
I want you
looks
to look at
very
my
wrong.
bald spot. I think my camera needs a little bit of adjusting here. Thanks very much for joining us. It's good to be back as usual. Although you wouldn't know that by the bitching and moaning we were doing before we started the show. Seriously, now we're in
We're in
what is it?
podcast mode.
Podcast face.
It's just
is
like
on now.
professionals now.
Yeah. Oh, before we forget, let's do a big thanks to Paul for stepping in Dave's place last week. It was great to have him on board. Thank you, Paul.
Yep. Good
I
job.
heard
Well
good
done.
things.
Yep. It was good. We had a nice chat. It was great. Is there anything? Do we want to? Everyone having a good week? I mean, what
Fucking
do we talk
awesome.
about here? It feels like we've done nearly 300 of these things, and I still don't know what to do at the start. I suppose we should just address the first thing. Dave, you were away. How are things? All right.
I was aware. Yes, I was invited to go and see Catherine Ryan.
Is this part of your what we've been doing thing?
Yeah.
I am jumping ahead. All right. So
That's fine. That's
do you
fine.
wanna just-
I'll talk about it. Yeah.
You might as well.
The crowd was mainly female. The show was called
Ooh.
Battle Axe.
I don't know who Catherine Ryan is.
Okay, so she's a
Just as a
Canadian.
caveat.
Canadian
Okay.
comedian.
Yeah, I'm surprised you don't know her.
Because she's Canadian. You know all Canadians.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Catherine round the corner. Why didn't you say so?
She's very funny. And yeah, so I had a great time. Went.
Was she
with-
naughty? Did she say naughty words?
Was she a bit blue?
I guess. I think so.
Did
She's
she
very
say
open.
the F word?
Probably. I don't know. I
What
had a
about
couple.
the C bomb? Did she C bomb?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
But it was quite an older crowd as well. It wasn't a very young
Oh, it's
crowd.
old women. Is that what you're saying?
Not
When you say an older
about my
crowd,
age.
do you say you mean your age or older?
Yeah, about
our
yeah.
age.
But no, it was a good time. Very, very good. Yeah, went with some friends. And went out for some drinks.
Did you have
beforehand, and,
wake up with sore sides from laughing so much?
I tell you, my face did hurt a little bit around here.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's good when you've hurt from laughing. I like
Yeah.
that. That's the best type of pain.
So yeah, that was it. That was why I wasn't. I was gonna, but then I got invited there, so I didn't.
Well, fair enough.
No worries.
You know, we try and
survived.
make you laugh, but we don't get paid. So hopefully she's better out than we are.
No, it was very good. I enjoyed myself immensely.
Good. Where
Yes.
Where was the show? Was it in Northampton?
It is in Northampton, yeah.
Was it the Derngate? Is that
It was the
Northampton?
Derngate. Yes, well done.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Oh.
I feel
Have you
like
been to
I was
the
just like,
Derngate?
no.
No. Right.
I had no idea how you'd know a theatre.
I just feel
name
like
in-
I've heard that on local radio in my
Oh, okay.
youth.
I may have mentioned it before because I have been there a couple of times.
I think that's just the theatre in Northampton is the Derngate. Is that not right?
There's another one, but it's very small. Yeah.
Derngate's
which
where
one
it's
is it?
at.
Yeah.
Derngate is where it's.
There's
at.
like all I know at Northampton is Derngate and the Roadbender. That's Northampton to me.
Yeah.
As in places to go.
Yeah.
Other than
Yeah.
like the cinema.
Bands and
The nearest View cinema is in Northampton for me.
Yeah, View is in town centre. Yeah, there was a Cineworld, but that's been taken over by somebody else now.
I was wistfully recalling my youth. Some time spent in Northampton when I was a little boy. I can remember when I was about 5 or 6. So this would have been probably.
Wow, you've got a good
1979.
memory.
6 or 7. Well, because I know when it was because we were visiting because I had lived in Canada at the time. And my great aunt, we went to stay with her. She lived in Littlehampton,
Yes.
I think.
Yeah,
which is-
that's kind of like Toast away, but yeah.
Just a little bit outside Northampton. No, is it?
Why is it so far from Northampton
I
to
think-
Southampton? And then
Well,
Littlehampton's just
not very
around the
north.
corner.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was having some lovely thoughts back. She had a wonderful old English garden with lots of rat runs and greenhouses and fish ponds and stuff like that. I just remember just being like, it was so lovely, right?
Yeah.
Nothing nicer than an English garden. We all know that, right?
I don't know.
Not the new build ones. The
My next door
old ones,
neighbour's
but-
garden don't look great.
Yeah, oldie worldy type,
Yeah.
nice gardens.
What,
yeah.
like
Village
a
garden.
Blenheim Palace garden or something? Yeah.
Well, those
Where
are nice too. Yeah.
they're like 20 acres.
I was reading a report today that said I think Windsor Great Park is like the third biggest tourist attraction in the country.
Ooh.
I didn't realize that.
Third biggest.
Third, yeah.
Is that part
Yeah,
of
it's on-
the Windsor Castle? Not Warwick Castle,
Yeah,
obviously.
it's like basically the backyard, right?
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that
Yeah.
makes sense. Is that not Windsor
got-
Castle then? Is the big attraction that just happens
Well,
to
Windsor
be there?
Castle didn't rate.
Really?
Didn't rank.
They've
on
always
the
got
list.
things going on there. They've always like whenever I've been through Windsor, they've had like race shows, like a race like horse
What,
shows.
at the
and-
race course,
Yeah.
maybe.
No, actually in the gardens, they've
Yeah.
got, they always do classic car shows.
Was it like
and
pancake
things like that.
races and stuff?
Stuff like that. Yeah. There's the polo club in
Should
there
we talk
too,
about the
isn't there?
Olney pancake race? No, we haven't.
What?
did we?
What?
What's he on
There's
about?
like. well,
He's got to
pancakes with-
derail, hasn't he? He's got to
Yeah.
go. Well, okay, let's talk about.
I
the
just
pan-
remember having a talk about the pancake race recently, but yeah, it wasn't with here. I didn't
Wasn't
go
with us.
anyway.
No.
But apparently, it's one of
Anyway.
the oldest pancake races in the world. Been going for like 400 years.
Sorry, where is it?
Olney.
Oh no.
Where is that?
Is
It's-
that Northants?
Did
It's
that make the
Northants.
list?
If Fraser, if you'd watch my one of my motorbike videos, you would have seen Oni because I would
Oh,
have
yeah.
ridden through
It's
it.
quite. My aunt and uncle live there. It's very nice.
Is it blinking? You miss it though.
They
Yeah.
have a. It's a bit like. Well, like I say, they have a pancake race in the street, so they shut the high street basically to have a
I
pancake
mean, this
race.
is the big. Do they? They
And-
shut the whole town. Shuts down.
Pretty
Pretty
much,
much, yeah.
pretty much, basically. And then at Christmas, they have Dickens of a Christmas. It's one of those places.
Oh, wow.
It's like a
Yeah.
fancy little village town.
But they've got nice gardens in there.
I bet they have.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got a big square and with loads of little shops around it.
Yeah. It's like a
and then,
nice town. There's not
yeah,
many left nowadays.
No. Yeah, they've got a really good bit that if you ride your motorbike and you rev it really hard, it like reverberates around all the houses.
Oh,
There's
nice.
an
And
Aston
everything else.
Martin dealer in town. That's what
There
sort
is
of town it is.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Do you ever do? We have here in. It's funny. I've been in this town long enough that like you see the changes, and there's like train tracks going straight through the town, and the town got so big, sooner they were like, this can't continue, right? So they dug underneath and put like, so there's a couple of points near me where they dug underneath, and so now the railway line is above and is the bridge. But if you go stand by those, what do we call those? Semi-tunnels, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. It's just basically dips down underneath the railway. But
Yeah.
if you stand near there on a Saturday during the day, I reckon there's any car that comes through there that has a bloke driving it and it's a nice car, every one of them just
Revs their
fucking
engine.
hammers the revs as soon as they go down underneath it. Motorbikes, it's guaranteed. Anyone with a Harley, it's guaranteed. Anyone with a muscle car, it's guaranteed.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't do it in my Fiesta.
No? Would
No.
anyone hear it?
I resort to I leave that on my driveway. That's where that happens. When I start.
Oh, do you like that the gurgle
Just
on a
make it
on a
that
Monday,
1.4
Monday
diesel.
morning?
It's
Ooh.
just everyone else looking out the window going, "What the fucking hell is that noise?" Thinking it's like a big Chevy or something.
In distress.
A big Chevy with only one cylinder working.
Oh, good stuff. All right. Well, look, let's carry on with the show then. Obviously, we have an agenda as we normally do. Oh, there's no listener stuff in there.
Oh, there's. You'll have to read it from Discord. I couldn't be asked to post it.
No, that's fine. Do
You
we
did
have
such a
football
good job
then?
last time. I was just like, you can fucking read it from the Discord every
I'll
week.
do it.
now.
Yeah, that's no problem. Do you have football stuff to go through? I can't remember.
Nothing's happened, has it, since last week? Or has it? No, we
Did
did.
have a game week.
Yeah, we had a game week. We don't need to talk about it though.
It
It was
crap.
fucking shit.
I didn't do it.
I think my son actually was top scorer, so I suppose. Well, he did take a hit, didn't he? I'm not sure if it was. Oh, I think he was. I don't fucking know. Anyway, I did shit.
Right.
You'll be surprised to learn.
I did shit. You won't be surprised to learn.
Who scored the biggest week? It was... Oh, he only took a 4-point hit. So actually Christian was the highest score of the week. Net score, and Adam was second. Christian played his free hit. Captain Bruno Fernandes. That was a good week to captain him.
Yeah, good choice.
My son didn't free hit, so he still has his free hit remaining. And a bench boost and a wild card. But he did take a 4-point hit. So we have... I've got wind, excuse me. Joel is still top. He scored 55 on the week. Lewis is second.
Ooh.
David Kinsit, third. Didn't have a very good week though. 39 points. Better than me though. Luch fourth with a 45 points. See, the top scores weren't that good. Adam's sixth now, and he's only 60 points off top.
He had a stonker, didn't he? 83.
Yeah, he is right up for going for. He wants to go back to back. He's got the bit between his teeth, as they say, and he's determined. I said, you've got
Captain Fernandes as well, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
He wants it. He wants it. He's like I say, he's determined. I said, you've got to go. Just all you've got to do is beat the fucking Yanks. I don't care if you don't win. Just beat the fucking Yanks. So there we go. Yeah, that's his mission. That's his mission. He's got his GCSEs this year. Honestly, if he fails them all, but he beats the Yanks, I'll let him off.
We're all right. We're all right. Yeah. Tell him he has our permission to divert his studying.
He doesn't need any permission to do that.
No,
I'm
he
sure
probably doesn't, does he? No. Let's
No.
not talk about children in school.
No.
No.
Yeah, I had an absolute stinker. I banged in 8-point hit. I was like, fuck it. It's about everyone, like people playing their free hits. Most of them go to shit anyway, which was fairly accurate. A couple of them did well. But most people did pretty shit last week.
Oh, Will Barclay's coming in on the 16 points.
Yeah, that's pretty. There's a few. Dave, you only got 21.
Oh, I did bad. Yeah, I didn't even swap
Pilch.
out.
Pilch had a good week the
there.
other week. Only got 20 last week. So yeah, there was a lot. I was like, if I'm going to take a big hit, I think this is a good week to take a big hit because there's going to be a lot of shit scores around.
Yeah, I took a -8. Did not make profit from it at all. But a lot of the other scores make me feel much better. Not better, but I'm okay with it. Not as bad as if I was the only one sitting down that low. Yeah, 20s. It's you love to see it, don't you, on other people?
Yeah, not mine. I net 30'd last week, so I guess that was better than 20. But yeah, I was
numbers for you. Yep.
I was trying to set it up for the next few weeks because I didn't want to use a free hit last week. So I want to save that for when there's a potential to score a shitload of points. I had an email this week. Did you have an email? Have you read any emails from FPL? Tells you how your season's gone so far.
I don't need them to tell me that. I don't need an email for that.
It's like a leaderboard and
I'll just go look in the toilet around about 10:30 every morning. Yeah, right.
Well, that's too much information.
I'm regular.
I had an email that tells you some stats, and it tells you how you compare to like the average. My average game week score is 60, I think, and the average was 55 or something. So I'm above average.
Mm-hmm.
And it show you a little graph where you are with the game week scores and that, and then it tells you things like how many points your captain scored versus the average, and how many times you've captained Mo Salah, which is like every fucking week basically. And one of the things that I think has fucked me up this year. So, one of the many things is that my bench has scored 235 points so far this season, and the average is 134. And I'm like, feel like I've probably got too many points in on my bench every week. So
I wouldn't read too much into that. That to me is not the sign of it's not a bad bench, obviously, is it?
I think
you've got good cover.
Yeah, but I think I always like to have a strong 15. And maybe that's not a good thing to do. And it's like a lot of teams who do well, I just have like a good 11 or 12 and then 3 total shitters to save the money. Whereas I'm like, I can't have total shitters.
I like to have a team of 15 total shitters.
You've succeeded this season.
They all do equally as badly as each other.
Yeah. So I don't know. And you know what's fucked us all this year? There's one thing that's really fucked us lot. Well, as in me and Fraser. Dave, you're excluded because you're just a wild card when it comes to FPL.
You're doing us proud this year. I mean, you're still, Dave's
I'm
done
not
good this year.
bottom. I'm doing
No,
better
you've
than I
definitely
did last
improved,
year,
but it's
so
still a bit
that's
random and a bit who knows what's going to happen.
Here's the question, Dave. Do you feel like you're embracing it a little bit more? Like you're getting the sort of, you're more feel compelled to.
He's
to
paid
work
attention
on
for
your
at least
team's
4 weeks of the season.
Yeah, you're getting results by paying attention, right? So,
I think I had a good start. I had a really good foundation of a team. Lost, then sort of fell off a little bit. Then jumped back on when I was like, no, I can't be last this year. Like done it for a couple of weeks and kept on really good. And it's kind of like that. It's like, oh, I've got a good team. They're doing really well. I start losing focus. Then I have a really bad week like I did last week. I'm like, shit, I need to.
So so a bad week is good for you. It makes you pay attention rather than like, I can't be fucking bothered anymore. This is pissing me off every fucking week.
Well, I think I see it as like, why mess with a good thing when the team's doing well?
Yeah.
And then they do
I'd
badly.
like to have that feeling. I'm not having this shit.
Then I'm like, oh no, changes are needed. And then I get another good couple of weeks after that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I feel like the good weeks have been few and far between personally this year. Yeah, the one thing that's fucked us this year is how good Forest have been.
Yeah.
Because all of the people who support Forest, aka all the Yankees. I nearly said wankers though, but that was your fault. Yeah, they've put their faith in the Forest because they have had Forest players in the past and they've been shit, but this year they've been fucking good. So, and I was like, we've just refused to have them for so much of the season when they were doing really well. And then last week, who did I put in on one of my -4s? The Nottingham Forest goalkeeper. Guess what happens last week? He looks like he's banking a clean sheet against one of the shittest teams in the league, and then they go and fucking score. I was like, you're fucking joking.
But that sums up my season, right? I put in two Nottingham Forest defenders. Yeah, exactly. On course for a clean sheet, and then just snatched from. But it's just driving me bonkers.
Yeah. Right? So anyway, Milenkovic was the one Forest defender or back player you needed last week. Oh, did you put him in?
I put him in.
He scored and he assisted last week, so it didn't matter.
I know that. Yeah, I know, but still.
How did you do so shit?
Because he was the only one who did any good. The rest of them were all absolute toilet.
Yeah. Well, I had Chris Wood as captain. I didn't go to plan. No, against one of the shittest. He did fuck all, is what he did. Fuck all. He did play. But yeah, fuck all. There we go. Right. FPL can fuck off.
Anyway. I think can we talk about the head-to-head? Because I'm not on the bottom anymore.
Oh, you're not? I haven't even looked. Let's have a look. Let's get that on screen.
Did somebody new join the league?
You are officially above average. Well done.
Well, it's funny because if you look at the average score, I'm not actually score-wise. I'm not above average.
Oh, you're not, are you?
I'm on 1,560 and average is 1,602.
I didn't know there was on there, really. Is that... How do they work that out? Well, I guess it's an average.
Back to school with you.
Is that literally halfway between the top score and the bottom zero? I don't know.
I mean, the mathematicians amongst us will start to argue what type of average we're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm like. That's what I meant. Really, it's like what sort of average is that?
Yeah. Let's assume it's a mean average.
You reckon that's a mean?
I would have thought so.
So, like, it's not the median then, because like a median would be literally like that's like a 0 at one end, and that's halfway.
Whoever's at whoever's in 5.6 millionth place, right?
Yeah. What's the other one? Modal. It's the most common, isn't it?
Look at him flexing his math.
I was all right at maths at GCSE.
Modal was whatever was the most common.
It was the
right?
most common, most common
Yeah.
number or thing.
Yeah.
Of a group.
It's the shittest of averages.
Yeah, no one uses the modal, do they? Unless
don't.
it benefits their argument in some way.
Yeah, I guess.
Anyway,
All right.
enough little maths
Football.
talk.
Yeah. All right. Be done with football?
I'm fucking well and truly done with football.
I haven't
this year.
prepared the listener stuff. Hang on a second. Where's the show?
You can read it from Discord.
Okay. So, where's Neil's thing? Any questions for the show?
Oh,
I have a question.
Paul put one in beforehand. That's what made me put it in, because Paul was already in there, just wondering.
Paul says, can I have a permanent place on the podcast? Can I take over from Dave in real time, all the time? No, he doesn't say that. He says, is there any real need to advance the current game console type controllers beyond their current evolution of haptic triggers, rumbles, and analog sticks, etc.? Or do you feel they are missing something other than to make them more resistant to wear?
I don't know. Someone's going to come up with something that's cool, aren't they? Surely in the future.
I feel like we've reached something like the Xbox controller. I think is peak controller, right? I'm not saying it can't be improved on.
No,
but
it's
I'm
missing
saying
features that are on the other controller.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, this is the discussion we're going to have. Like, what features are you talking about? Like,
Well,
because
there's a
the problem
speaker in the PlayStation controller. There's
right,
a microphone.
Right. And I counter these, sir, and say nay.
Well, go on then.
Surplus to requirement.
Are they?
Don't need a surplus to requirement. They're good, but they don't have add cost.
It's
right?
additive. It's additive.
Right? The haptic triggers.
You can't
touch sensitive so and so
in a game on Xbox, right? Just wait a second. You can't pick up the controller and blow in it and have an effect in a game on an Xbox controller. You can do that on the PlayStation.
I understand that.
So there you go. That's better, isn't
it? But my opinion on this is there any need to advance? I mean, they'll advance. I don't think there's a need. I like the Xbox controller as a base level controller. Does what it needs to do. You know.
I think the DualSense is my favorite controller.
Which controller are you on about for the Xbox? Because there's
the latest one, I assume.
360 onwards.
That's a 360 one.
No. That's an Xbox One or a series. Has it got Bluetooth? It's the latest one, basically.
It does have. That's not the latest one. It hasn't got all the fancy shit on the back.
No, that's not the Elite. The Elite ones are cool.
Yeah, well, that's it. Like, which one are we talking about? Like,
they were old.
Pretty much like the one you have there, right? It's got no bells or whistles. It's got an on-button start menu.
Standard 45
whatever.
quid. Yeah, with batteries in the back. Does it have batteries? That's all.
Yeah, it's going to run almost. You're going to be able to play almost any game you want to play. Except for those games that utilize stupid, unnecessary functions on overpriced controllers
that burn your battery.
Do you know what else is good on the DualSense? It's the little touchpad.
Is it?
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. State your case.
Well, you can use it as a mouse on a PC.
When do you use it as a mouse?
Yeah, I don't. But you can.
Well, then it's pointless. It's even worse. Then.
Anyway, that's not what it's for.
Of course it is. It becomes a worse feature because now you've got added cost without it really being necessary.
The worst thing about the DualSense is the battery life. That is the worst thing. When it starts using all of the features, it does not last at all. It needs a fucking gigantic battery to make it last like 5 hours.
Yeah, I did notice. I have had to charge that DualSense quite a few times.
Yeah, I've got 3 of them, but
just in rotation.
Basically, I have 2 for my PlayStation 5. On one, like usually one's. I use one until it's flat, and then I whip the other one out. And use that,
and then get the other controller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I do really like it. It's quite a nice controller, though. It feels nice.
It's a good controller. It is, but I don't think the haptics are that necessary. I don't think the touch is that necessary. The speaker's not necessary.
So what they should do is put like a sort of a 10-inch screen in
the middle of it.
In the middle of it, yeah. So you can see the game on the controller that you're playing.
Funny enough, they've got one of those. No, not that one. There's a PlayStation one.
Oh no, you got a yeah.
Yeah. Do we know anyone who's got the PlayStation? What do they
I
call
know
it?
someone at
What
work
is
who's
it
got one.
called?
He said it was amazing.
Oh yeah.
The PlayStation Portal. He said it was the best
Portal,
thing he'd
that's
ever
it.
bought. Obviously, he had a PS5 in the first place.
Well, you
That's
have
the
to.
best thing he's ever bought.
Well,
That's
I don't know
really
about that.
sad.
I don't know about that. Maybe
You
the
can't
best
top
one of his
that.
best purchases for gaming. Obviously, he was talking about gaming
Was he? I
because
don't know.
he can because he had the. Woohoo, Dave's got a big green thing going up the screen. uh, so he's got a PS5 obviously at home, but he had the PS Plus premium tier, so he could just cloud stream to his PS Portal on the Wi-Fi at work, so he could just play any of his games.
Okay, so he could switch the device, switch his
So he could
PlayStation
just
on at
so he
home.
could just no, he didn't have to have his PlayStation on at home. He can do that, but if you have the PS Plus Premium, you can literally do like the Xbox cloud streaming, but with PlayStation stuff.
Okay, oh, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
straight
And where was he?
direct to his portal, and he was just doing it on the Wi-Fi at work, and he was playing Helldive. I was like, that's actually quite cool. The screens looks really nice. The screen's
Yeah.
a nice screen.
Right.
So
Alright.
I don't know if it's OLED or what, but I was like, ooh, that looks pretty good.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Maybe it is the best thing he's ever bought.
So
He's a
initially,
PlayStation owner, so you know.
So initially that was sold as you have to have a PlayStation.
Yeah. They've
able to
enhanced the
use it.
features since it came
Right.
out. They've improved the usefulness of it. But I still won't buy one. Because why would I? I only get half an hour break at work, maximum. So it's not. I ain't fucking lugging that.
That's
to
not
work.
even one Helldive.
No, exactly.
That's
It's one of those
It's a
bad
unit of
hell dives
time.
where you completely die over and over again.
Grace, how many hell dives until we're going out?
For you, 0.
0. Okay.
Anyway,
All right.
so what I was going to say, in all seriousness, I kind of like. I don't play VR, but I'd kind of feel like a controller for each hand might actually be quite good.
Like not the Stadia. The Wii.
Well, sort of.
Oh,
yeah, but you
what-
wouldn't
what-
like
what
literally
do I
if you
The
just
Oculus.
split a normal controller in
yeah.
two, and
The
so you
Oculus,
didn't
so you
have to
had
hold your
two
hands
different-
together.
Yeah.
That would probably be the only real
Yeah.
improvement, I would say. It's
Yeah.
just like you could just fucking sit there with like hands sprayed apart and just like lie back like I don't know, doing whatever, having things done to you while you play games.
Just back to your VR stuff. You
I don't know.
It's all rooted in VR prawn.
I think that is actually potentially quite useful.
The Oculus, you had that. You had.
Yeah. Well, all VR basically you have a controller in each hand, and I think even without VR, that would actually be quite good to just have a controller in each hand without having to hold them together. That's the only thing I could say would actually maybe make an improvement. Is not having to have your hands on your lap basically to play games.
You don't have to have them on your lap.
Well, you know, it'd be a bit weird to have them off to the right together, but you know, they're generally on your belly, that kind of area, in front of you together.
I bet they've looked at it and went, 99% of people, even if they've got a split controller, will still have them in their lap. Just
Yeah, but you're just free to do what you fucking like. I feel like that's something that could happen. Is all I'm saying.
I think they should have smell-o-vision.
That
in
sucks.
the controllers, and you you've got to keep topping it up with like I don't know essential oils.
Well, most things of games, like, can you imagine the smell of Hunt Showdown? It's not going to be pleasant, is it?
I don't know. Be some
To
interesting
buy you
smells.
with like rotting flesh everywhere. It's not going to be nice, is it?
Billy's jacket.
Ugh. God knows where that's been. And Lulu. Honestly.
Or you could be
Don't
running
spoil
through
the magic of Lulu.
a field of
Good job we
flowers
haven't
and
got
you
smell-o-vision.
Get a waft of lavender spritz.
I'm
at
sure
you
that's
from
what she
your
smells
controller.
of.
Okay, is that good? Are we done with that one?
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Paul.
Good question.
I had a question that said, how do we kick the Yanks out of Fantasy League? Lol. And then I just realized I included Chipper in that. That was a mistake, Chipper. I'm sorry about that. I'm already, you know the ones I'm including.
Ones that are doing well.
Yeah.
Not the people at the bottom like us. Lou says related question. Only wondering how you are, and then in brackets Neil and Fraser are doing after Gary, a guy who pulled off his recent free hit by, in quotes, just looking at who seemed expensive and then just randomly put those guys in. How are we doing after Gar passed us in the standings? Please, this is for posterity, so be specific.
Who's Gary? Why is he in my league?
Defo.
I don't think he's in my league anymore. I think I might have kicked him out.
Oh, we hoofed him.
Just kick them all out.
Good for Gary.
Yeah, well done, Gary. Makes a change, doesn't it?
They're expensive for a reason. It's because people are choosing them, got confidence in them.
I think you just got lucky. Like I said earlier, they just got lucky that Forest are doing well. If Forest were doing shit this year, they'd all be doing shit. There you
go. Master, but thanks, Lou. I think because he's still got more stuff. He's posting some American memes.
He must have been going for a long toilet visit while I just put out this question.
Master Blackthorn says that he seconds the kicking of the Yanks out of the league. He also says, I'm playing Assassin's Creed Shadows and enjoying it despite the noise around it. Anyone else playing or interested in it? Have a good show, boys. I've seen a little bit of stuff being talked about Assassin's Creed Shadows. Nothing in the press, though. I've not read anything. No, I don't know.
Heard good
about
things,
it, really.
or
no, it was more the other Discord that I'm in. A load of them were getting excited about it. I mean, I find that more interesting from the point of view. I was sitting there thinking, how the fuck are we still, and I mean them, still getting excited about an Assassin's Creed game? It's bonkers. It's been going for so long now. How many of them are there?
Quite a few.
Aren't we just?
What sort of Assassin's Creed is this
franchises just die?
Is this
This franchise won't die, will it?
Well, not while it's making money.
Japan.
I had 1 million players in one day, so I guess some people were excited about it.
Yeah.
Whether that's going to be enough, I don't suppose it is.
It always strikes me that Assassin's Creed is one of those things that some of the Assassin's Creed experiences were so good that they've just got people who are in love with the series and, hold the candle for it all the way through. Personally, I've never been taken by the series at all.
I've only played and finished one Assassin's Creed game, and that was 4 Black Flag.
Yeah.
And I played that far too long, roaming around on boats. And I was doing the fucking stupid mobile game that came along with it, sending all my fucking fleets off and doing all that bullshit.
Actually, I have finished an Assassin's Creed game.
Have you?
Only one, and it was one of those small games. They released about 3 of them on Xbox Arcade. Yeah, that's it. Chronicles. I think is it China?
China. There was a China one, and there was.
I think there was a Russia, wasn't
I feel like yeah, sounds right. There was 3, I think.
Yeah, China. I finished. It was good.
That was like a 2.5D thing, was it?
Something like that. Yeah, I remember.
It was like 3D figures, but on a 2D plane, sort of thing, was it?
Something like that.
Something like that.
It's a long
no
time
one cares.
ago now. I don't. I didn't care enough to go play the other ones, but I think that one was rated one of the better ones.
Yeah, I played a load of Odyssey, which was the second of their sort of big change RPG style Assassin's Creed. And it was just like too big.
Right.
I did 40 hours and I'd got nowhere. And I was like, well, fuck this then. I'm not playing this for another 100 hours.
Too much game.
Yeah, I think they just got too big. I don't know. I think Valhalla was quite big as well, wasn't it? I never played... like I say, I didn't really play anything between Black Flag and Odyssey. So there was like Syndicate, which I think was actually all right. Unity was the one that was a fucking shit show when it came out.
What was the one that was set in England? Is that Syndicate?
Ooh.
No, Valhalla. Well, that's London. Victorian London, Syndicate.
Yeah, that one I played, but I didn't go very far in that one either.
No, I never played that. Never even looked at it.
Well, I think I played like half hour of it. I definitely remember playing some of that one, but I didn't.
There was a point where it was like around some warehouses around a dockyard in old England or something at the start, I think.
That's supposed to be all right, though, Syndicate.
I think so, yeah. I think that's probably why I gave it a shot, right?
Yeah.
But
well, I feel like there was a period of my life that we'll just call the Destiny years. which basically ruined games of all types forever, obviously.
Yes, I feel like I've had one of those moments too.
So
Colours,
I was in. I put
PUBG,
multiple
PUBG
thousands
years,
of
I call
hours. Yeah,
that.
there was thousands of hours of Destiny 1 and 2, and then there was PUBG. That was I don't know how many hours of that we played in the end, or I played. Too many. Some people are still playing that game apparently. Weirdos. And yeah, then I was like the Division, all of those kind of loot games I played, and then I just saw all of those games in Assassin's Creed. So I was like, I'm not playing this game anymore.
Yeah.
It's too big, too long.
Mm.
Same old shit over and over again.
Um,
But apparently the new, I don't know, the new one's got good reviews. Maybe it's a
Has it?
return to form. Yeah, I think so. People
alright,
were
we'll be
going on
be
about
half
there
price
being
in 4 weeks.
a black samurai, weren't they? And how it wasn't very realistic. And I don't know.
Oh
Fucking know.
God!
That was before it
Oh,
came
dear.
out, like months ago.
Oh, all right, okay.
And you have to play as a girl. Obviously,
Oh
that
my
doesn't go
God.
down very well. She's a ninja. I know a fair bit about it, considering I'm not even interested in it.
No,
Yeah,
So I
I
don't know
know.
this
You're
fucking
our,
game.
you're our inside man.
I could be talking out my arse, but I feel like it's pretty accurate.
Hey, you just
as
make
far
it
as
up
I'm
at this
actually-
point. Dave and I won't know any better.
Exactly. I know you two don't know anything, but I think that's accurate.
Mm.
But yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not
all right.
interested. But I'm glad people who are into it are enjoying it. Good for you.
That's
if you
right.
found
Yeah.
some
If it's
fun in it.
if you like it and you're enjoying it, good for you.
Hopefully, it's not 300 hours long, because that's when it gets a bit shit.
That is pretty much it on the listener questions. Thank you to everyone for acknowledging our existence. It's much appreciated.
It is.
Let's move on to what we've been doing then. I honestly am racking my brains and cannot think of anything that I've done of note. I'll come up with something in a minute, no doubt, while you're talking. So one of you might as well go.
You've already done what you did last week, Dave. Have you got anything else?
Well, I've got one more thing, but
Okay.
we'll let you go first.
Well, I went to a place in Milton Keynes. Did I mention? I don't know if I mentioned it last on the show. I went to the Pixel Bunker in Milton
I think you
Keynes.
mentioned you were going.
I definitely mentioned it to you, chaps.
Yeah, maybe when we were playing games.
Well, I don't know if it was on the show. So it's like you know, that arcade club place up north. It's a bit
You're
like that,
beeping.
I guess. That's not me beeping. Someone's had a bath and the fire alarm's now going off.
Why'd your fire alarm go off in a bath?
Because the steam comes out of the bathroom and hits the fire alarm and it thinks it's a fire going on. I'm like, oh.
They're doing the bath
So
wrong.
it's quite
and the fire
annoying.
alarm's going off. It's like the
You should
opposite
move
of-
it.
I should probably replace that fire alarm with a newer one. I reckon
You
that's the
should,
problem.
you should change
Because it
to
wasn't
a-
doing it for ages. I don't know. I fiddled around with it. I was like, oh, it's not out of date yet. And then it's now every time someone has a bath downstairs and
it's
opens the bathroom
fiddled,
door, it
hasn't
fucking
it?
goes off. I'm like, oh, for fuck's
Did
sake.
you take the little
fiddled.
plastic seal off? That
I don't know
of
what.
the
No.
detection?
It's quite an old one, but like it's got a year left on it or something. And I was like, oh, I might as well get the year out of it. And now it's just irritating and goes off when it's not actually a fire. Which means when there is a fire and it goes off, then I'll be like, well, it's not a fire. It's just fucking stupid and it's not working. And then we'll die.
This fire alarm needs to be replaced now.
Yeah, probably. I've got one in this room, so I'll be all right.
Yeah, you're all right. Yeah.
So I've got a window as well, so I can just like hoop out the window. So anyway, we went to the Pixel Bunker, which is like a retro arcade place.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also part of the National Sci-Fi something museum, sci-fi movie museum. We didn't go in that bit. It was an extra 15 quid to go into that bit.
Oof. Each?
Yeah. Outrageous, isn't it?
Education. Education. Ugh.
Not really.
Nostalgia.
No,
It was 15 quid each to go in the arcade bit. So what can I say? There's a lot of old arcade games in there. I say a lot. There's quite a few. There's quite a lot of ones you don't really want to play, probably.
Was there Popeye?
Yes.
Ooh, I like Popeye.
Popeye was
Yeah.
in there, actually.
Popeye was one of my favourites from back in
There
the
was a
day.
couple of things I was like, oh, I want to play that. There was a two-seater Sega Rally Championship, which I was like, oh, yeah, fucking Sega Rally. Loved that back in the day. And there was a Daytona Championship, but I think that was just a stand-up one, not a sitting one. There was Sega Touring Cars, 2-seater, but the left seat had a real fucked up screen that was just like flashing. I was like,
Oh, jeez.
that's not good. There was Time Crisis 2, I think.
Okay.
No House of the Dead or Virtua Cop.
Okay.
So there's a couple of light gun games.
Was there
light gun game didn't fucking work. I was just like, this isn't fucking doing anything.
The Simpsons was a classic arcade. Four
Uh,
player?
No, didn't have that, but they did have 4-player Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or Hero Turtles, as it was in
That's
the
pretty
UK.
good. Yeah, they've got some good.
Yeah,
good
so me and my son
combos.
played that for a bit. And it was just one of those ones you just kept pressing, press the button, press the button, press the button, just like add credits, add credits, add credits. Whereas some of them, like you had to wait till you died to press start, to restart.
Ah, right, okay. Yeah,
They had the older Star Wars arcade game, the vector graphics one was there.
Yep.
So had a bit of a blast on there as a class. There was a few classic ones in there. That was mint, I reckon, as well. As far
Was
as an
that
old fucking
the
arcade game
Hoth?
goes. No, it was you do the Death Star run.
Oh, okay. Right.
So it's proper a proper old.
Right.
And
That was such a
what
great
else?
game.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was.
You go into an
I
arcade,
haven't
you
played
see
it
that.
again. I'm like,
It
this
was
is not that good.
mind blowing when we
Back
were
in the
young. It was
days, you were like,
so
holy
cool.
shit, this is amazing. Playing it
Yeah.
nowadays was like, this is a bit shit.
I always remember there was a game that you had a big steering wheel and it was down on a 2D plane, and when you won
Super Sprint.
Was it Super? I'm not sure, but when you win races, you can upgrade your boost and your.
I think that might have been
Yeah.
Super Sprint. It was just like
Was
an over the top view, and you had an accelerator and everything, but you had a steering wheel, and you like,
Yes.
yeah. Fucking Super Sprint was great. It didn't have Super Sprint.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. That was a good game.
I had that on home computers for sure, without steering wheel, obviously. Back in
I
the old
think I
days.
played that a lot with my cousin on the Amiga.
Yeah, I
Probably.
feel
I
like
think that was a good version. I think that was like
I don't know if it was a Commodore 64 version I had or an Atari ST version. It could have been one of the two. So there's loads of old games. There was like classic Pac-Man. I played a load of Pac-Man. I was like, actually, this is that actually holds up as a game. It's quite good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the screen wasn't fucked on that game. So
Qbert?
there was a few. Contra was there. Contra, you remember Contra? Yeah.
Yeah.
So there are some big old classics. Some of them were a little bit worse for wear, for sure. Like the joystick was a bit fucked and sticky or whatever. It was like, it does take the edge off a bit when the controls don't work properly.
yeah.
Any pinball?
There were 3 pinball tables, and I don't think any of them were classed as retro. There was a Star Wars one.
That's quite
Oh,
old. That's
Star
90s.
Wars.
I don't know. It looked pretty new.
Was it a fun?
It was like Han Solo, Yoda, and everything on it. But it was like the screen. I was like, that looks fucking new. That screen. I don't think it's brand new, but I don't think it's super old. Godzilla's
recent.
pinball.
Yeah.
And
That's one of the best pinball machines there is.
Yeah, I didn't get to go on that. We played Star Wars.
Oh, mate, you missed
the fucking pinball. There was just like trying to get on the pinball was a ball ache. It was just like there was some little twatty kids didn't know what they're fucking doing. Like, fuck off! Where's your parents telling you to fuck off?
You didn't go.
While the old people want to get on here.
You didn't go put your quarter on the glass.
Yeah.
No, because there's no money. It's all free play, isn't it? So it's just like they're just like doing shit, like pinging the. I'm like, yeah, fuck it out. Anyway, what was the other one? I can't remember what the third one was. I saw, what's it called? Crazy Taxi stand-up machine was there. So they had some good ones in there. And there was a load of old like nonsense in there. I'm not playing that. There was Asteroid.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was. I think it was like that, but I think it's called Star Duel. And so it's basically the same, but you had 2 spaceships stuck to each other, and they'd like on a piece of string, effectively, and like you had
string.
You had a little thing to turn, like a button to rotate, and 2 buttons to rotate, and a thrust button, and a shield button, and then. But the best thing about that game was it had fucking loads of bass coming out of it. It was just like the loudest. Like every time there was like a shot, it was like it was like, oh, that's fucking kicking out some loudness. So there was some cool stuff in there, and we were in there for 3 hours. Paid 15 quid for 3 hours. So I played a load of video games. There was a load of cack in there, I think, but Oh, NBA Jam. My machine was in there. Never got to go on that. I would have played that. That'd have been a
NBA
laugh.
Jam. Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good one.
That's a
yeah.
classic. But so you did have some good stuff.
Couldn't
But
you enable big head mode on the arcade?
you could do that. I don't know if you could do it on arcade, but you could definitely do it on the home versions.
Oh,
I don't know
maybe
what
I'll
the fucking
stick
codes
with
were. But yeah. So it was all right. Bit expensive and too many kids in there on a Saturday. But maybe if you went in there
that.
with a group of
Was there a
adults.
bar there?
Nah, no bar.
Hmm.
And I'm not sure about what the museum part was like. They had a shop though, and you could buy like original Star Wars figures that were still in the packs and shit. There was like fucking £800 fucking Star Wars pack guys in there. I was like, fucking hell. And they had like discontinued Lego sets that were fucking hundreds and hundreds of pounds, 800 quid for a fucking Lego set. There was loads of the old Star Wars stuff. There was like the AT-AT from fucking Return of the Jedi or whatever, and it was like 370. I was like, actually, that's not that much. I don't think it was something from that old. And yeah, they had all that sort of shit in the shop. And they're opening up a Lego bit in there, but they haven't opened that yet. But it was actually pretty cool. It's in Milton Keynes, so not super outrageous.
Whereabouts in Milton Keynes?
I don't know if you know where Lloyd's Bank is in Milton Keynes. It's not in the shopping centre. It's near the shopping centre, but it's like there's a little bit away from the shopping centre.
Okay.
It's like a
I
sort
know
of
there's lots of
a
different little
square,
bits
a
around
big
it,
square of building, and that's part of that. So it's actually quite a big unit, I assume. With it was like you go in for it on the ground floor, but it's all upstairs. But yeah, it was actually all right. Pretty cool. Could do with more pinball and less kids.
Yeah.
But
That sounds like
fewer
my life.
kids. Yeah, tell me about it. But yeah,
All right, very good.
kids were like, "What the fuck is this shit old game? Why am I here?" There was like all their nerdy dads. There was a guy with a Super Nintendo Entertainment System jersey on. And I was like, "Okay, you're a nerd." And he brought his kids, obviously. So yeah, it was fun. It was a laugh. And yeah, my boy wasn't. He was a bit like, "Oh, this is all shit." And then he managed to spend 3 hours in there playing video games. So it wasn't that bad.
Right. What sort of stuff was he? Did he get?
There was the Street Fighter 2 was a big letdown. That was fucked. The Shima machine was fucked. It just didn't work.
The shit kicked out of
It
it.
just
Was it the original Street Fighter 2?
They had
the Ultra.
it was Super. No, it was Street Fighter 2. I think it was Championship, maybe.
Okay.
I can't remember. So, but it was only 2-player, obviously. Right. But it was a pretty small machine.
You could choose Vega, M. Bison.
I can't remember. I literally played it for about 5 minutes, and I don't even know who I was. I was like, "Who the fuck?" I played as like the classic Ryu, and
Ryu.
Yeah, Ryu.
Ryu.
His name's Ryu.
Anyway, you should have been Ken.
Anyway, I'm not sure I could actually select the character properly because the joystick was fucked. And I got absolutely my head kicked in by Dowsim in the second fight. He's just an absolute twat.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck this game. I'm not playing that. They had Mortal Kombat, which like I don't know any of the fucking combinations to do.
I'm not. I'm a Street Fighter, not a Mortal
Kombat. I don't know. I was trying to do a fucking Hadouken and it wasn't happening. I was like, I'm sure it's just like left, right, bang, or whatever. And like,
well, it depends which character you got.
Yeah, it wasn't fucking doing anything. I was like, I don't know any of these fucking.
I think that might have been Scorpion's moves.
Oh, I can't remember. Anyway, I couldn't do anything. It was just like punch, and then there was Killer Instinct 2, which was like I think that was a big fuss about that when it came out. That's like it was quite realistic. What was the one that was like digitized graphics? Do you remember that? It was like it was
Mortal Kombat was.
No, well that was, but there was another one that was like super real, and it was just
not Virtual Fighter.
No, that definitely wasn't real. That was like super polygons.
Yeah.
I can't think what it's called, but it was just shit. But yeah, everyone was like, "Look at the graphics." I was like, "Yeah, play the game, and it sucks." But yeah.
What's it? There's one with a blob in it, and oh my god, not Clay Fighters.
Oh, there was Clay Fighters, but I don't know if that was an arcade. That was like I remember the magazines going mad about that because of the like amazing graphics on it. It's just like I'd never played it, so I don't know. It looked a bit shit. Anyway, so old games, some of them are all right. Some of them
Yeah.
If you're in
are
the
a bit
mood
shit.
and you've paid to be there.
They had Donkey Kong, like classic Donkey Kong. So they had some proper classics in there. So yeah, it was worth going.
Good.
But I'd like to have gone, oh, fucking hell, look how everything's been totally done up so it's perfect again. Which wasn't the case. But
Yeah, stuff not working is a little bit crappy.
I mean, it worked to a degree. But,
Mm.
you know, when you like I say, I'd have been having a massive headache if I'd have played Sega Touring Cars on the left screen. Like this flashing screen is going to be doing my head in after about 2 seconds. I didn't even want to look at it walking past. But there you go. The right-hand screen was perfect.
Okay. All right. Pixel Bunker. Good. Dave, you had something else on your list, didn't you?
Yeah. So,
Oh, I added to my list. Sorry, I put it in the wrong spot. Just when Dave's done.
me and the missus are going to, oh, for God's sake, Isle of Wight on the bike.
Oh,
So,
nice.
So we
I assume you're going on a ferry or something.
Yes.
At some point.
Yes. So we're getting the ferry from
Southampton?
Felixstowe? No, not
Felixstowe?
Southampton. The other one, not Felixstowe. That's wrong.
It's fucking miles away.
No, I know that's completely wrong. It's not the Southampton one. It's another one going south. I can't remember the bloody name. I'm so annoyed. I've spent ages actually planning this, this trip. But yeah, we're going in sometime in May. When
Half term,
kids
is
are
that?
off half term. Oh, for God's sake.
What's your daughter doing?
She's away.
Oh.
So I am Southampton.
South Sea.
Lymington. That's where
Mm.
we're getting the ferry from, and we're basically going to
Is that
Yarmouth.
where the
Yarmouth?
small boats come in?
Oh, I see.
With immigrants.
I hope not.
You're just getting the return journey out to the Isle of Wight.
Right, let's not go there. Okay.
So yeah,
Carry on.
So we're spending a couple of nights on the island and then riding back.
Nice.
So
Have you been to Isle of Wight before?
Never been before.
I have.
Never.
I've been.
I went to a stag do on the Isle of Wight.
Ooh. In my head, I thought like, it was quite a small place. I thought
it's quite small.
It is.
Going to Ventnor. Are you going to Ventnor?
We're going to Shanklin, East Coast.
Shanklin's what happens when you get to the Isle of Wight.
Yeah. So yeah, we got a little apartment we're staying in.
Airbnb, is it?
No. It's
I'm not sure they have Airbnb on the Isle of Wight.
They do. It's not. It's everywhere's expensive.
I'd like to know if it's changed in the like 20 odd years since I last went.
Yeah.
Or if it's one of those places that's just like stuck in time.
Maybe.
It's just that little bit out of the way.
But yeah, that's it. I thought just me and the missus on the bike. There's some nice roads. Obviously, where they do the motorbike racing or
no, that's Isle of Man.
It is Isle of Man, isn't it?
Yeah, you're going to the wrong island, Dave.
I'll just race around the island anyway.
Yeah, won't take long.
That's fine. Yeah.
Won't take long. There's only a fucking one road.
Yeah, that's it. That's. Oh, sorry, I got confused because I was.
You're going to change your holiday now, are you? Actually, no, we're going to the Isle of Man.
I was looking at the Isle of Man as well, but
I wouldn't go from Felixstowe to there either. That's even further.
No. But yeah, or you can get to there from Liverpool.
When you going there, Dave?
In May, when the kids are off. Yeah. So, because she's the daughter's
A little in. She's not so little anymore, is she?
No, not really. Fucking every month she grows about an inch. She's a Scouts do.
What do? Scouts.
Scouts, yeah. Well, explorers. But she's there from like Friday to Monday, so we're going Saturday to Monday.
Nice.
So yeah. Yeah. So
lovely job.
Just needed to get away.
Is that bank holiday weekend?
Yes.
Oh.
It is.
Good job you're on a
Yeah.
motorbike. Otherwise, you'll be stuck in a fucking traffic jam probably.
Well, that's the other thing as well. Yeah, like we're going down on Saturday morning, so it will be busy. But yeah, on the bike
Nice.
we'll just
Well,
nip through.
Yeah, good. Okay. Well,
I
I'll
need
tell
it.
you something about my trip
Need
to
the
the Isle
break.
of Wight. I'll tell you a
Hmm?
little story about my trip to the Isle of Wight.
Go on.
Like I said, it was a
First-
stag do, so obviously there was lots of drinking involved.
of course.
And one morning we were at breakfast, and like,
Where did you stay?
I fucking can't remember.
In a bed and breakfast?
Ventnor. No, it was a hotel. Because it was lots of people in the restaurant, and there was quite a few of us. Too many.
Oh,
for Airbnb.
that's near where I was staying. Yeah.
Yeah. So we noticed one morning that the management of the hotel was speaking to a couple of our party away from us, and we were a bit like, "What the fuck's going on here? Then? Like, why are they all talking to them? Like, it's like one of those conversations like you didn't want to be a part of." And it was like, turned out one of our party in the middle of the night had entered someone else's room, thinking it was a toilet, and went into the wardrobe of someone else's room and peed in their wardrobe.
No. Oh dear. Yeah, that's not
And we were a
good.
bit like, what the fuck?
I mean, my drinking history, and I'm not saying me, but I've seen people do that, right? You know, get up in the middle of the night, so drunk that they get up in the middle of the night and just pee in the most random of places. But yeah, in somebody else's
You can ask my
hotel
wife
room,
about that.
that's
She's got a story about that about me, but I'm not saying it on it.
Well, I'm not going to lie. There is a story. I have a story on that one about me too, but I'm not going to tell it here.
No, that's you've already got too much information about that. But there we go.
We'll chat later.
No one's immune from that sort of nonsense if they've had a few too many.
I remember. I will say, I do remember. I was at a party one time, and we all slept in the middle of the it was a house party or whatever. Broke out the sleeping bags at the end of the day and end of the night or whatever. And I do remember waking up. There's one guy peeing on one of my cousins. Right, just dude, what are you doing?
Like,
I've seen a guy
they suddenly realise what they're doing. Like, oh fuck!
Yeah, I've seen another one. Like it was even mid-party, right? The party was nowhere near shutting down. Some guy had just, I think he'd zonked out in a chair in the corner, and then just randomly got up and started peeing in the living room. It's like, what the hell?
Good old days.
Good old booze. Eh?
Yeah.
Never fails to amuse.
Yeah, gives you good stories for life. Booze.
Of course. Yeah, I guess they're good. I have a couple of things on my list, which I finished Ludwig. I can't remember whether we talked about that.
Did you?
Excellent
Said you started
recommendation,
it.
Neil. Yeah, started it and finished.
I started that recommendation. Like, how's it?
I think I said that when we started talking about it, that Dave had seen this ages ago.
Oh, it was a Dave recommendation, was it? Sorry, don't mean to steal your thunder.
That's the second time you said. Oh, thanks, Neil. Thanks for
No, I said it
Neil's watched
recently,
like
but
twice.
Dave
On this
definitely
one,
was.
on Ludwig?
I only literally watched the first two, and then I missed everything until the last one this time around. But I know Dave watched it ages ago.
I watched it ages ago as it came out and said it's absolutely amazing. Everyone should watch it. It's really funny, really good.
I
Like,
wonder.
oh yeah.
Yeah, of course, we weren't listening to you, but I wonder whether maybe you gave me the recommendation when we were playing Hunt or something. No,
when you
not
actually
would have
paid
been on the
attention
show.
rather than.
It was definitely
Well,
Dave talks about it on the show.
I have said, in my defense, when the show is ongoing, sometimes I do switch off to what you guys are saying so that I can concentrate on what we've got coming up and timing and all that sort of stuff. That's my excuse.
Sounds like bullshit.
That's my excuse. I'm sticking to it.
I think the show would be a lot better if that was actually true.
If I paid attention.
Dave, I
Ludwig
forgot what I was going to say now.
Thank you for the recommendation, Dave.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I'm glad I reminded you about Dave's recommendation.
Yes,
recently.
thank you, Neil, for reminding me about Dave's recommendation for Ludwig.
It has been commissioned for a second season, so
I hope so. My wife loved it. I got brownie points for that one. So
good. Well, how did you get hold of that in the North American region?
Didn't you?
Is it available on Netflix over there?
Next question.
Okay, one of those.
I also started watching. I keep starting tons of stuff, and I'm not.
I went
really
to ask you about
anything.
your Japanese one. Have you stopped watching that now?
I haven't stopped watching it. I just
You
that
just haven't
Japanese
watched any
one.
more since.
No. I've only got one month. I think I've only got one more to watch. One outstanding, which I'll probably watch at some point. But the reason I like it's, I don't want to sit down and watch that just whenever. Like I know exactly how I
You need to
want
be
to
in the
watch.
right frame of mind to watch that.
I need to be a little in the right frame of mind, and that tells you everything you need to know about the frame of mind that I want to be in. But I also want it to be quiet, calm, peaceful.
You need to
Like,
concentrate.
and be able to concentrate. Yeah, I just so most of the time I've tried to watch it on TV, but if people are coming in and out of the living room, it just disturbs me. That show is perfect for just end of the night in bed, headphones on the iPad, just watching it and just being able to concentrate and lose myself in it. That's when I want
Why
to.
not? That's not a thing I do.
Watch that.
Watch stuff in bed.
I really like my bed, and sometimes when it's early in the evening, I'm like, well, I could sit there, or I could sit there, or I could go into my nice bed with a heated blanket and pillows, and put a nice set of headphones on, and
We got bed
but my
socks and a little cap, a nightcap.
no, but I could get on board with that. Um, but anyway, so yeah, I sat down the other day and I was trying to find something to watch, and I started watching Rebel Moon. Do we know anybody know anything about this? Did anybody watch it? Because I
Is
mean, I
this a
think it
Star
got
Wars
sort
thing or
of.
not?
This is Zack Snyder's
Mm,
Star Wars like thing.
right.
I think I've seen. Oh, I've seen some of it, but I don't think I've watched all of it.
I think what happened was this came out and a lot of people were like, there was some
After
problem with
Justice
it when
League,
it came out.
was it still when Justice League was a fucking joke? Like just after
mean-
the 15-hour version of Justice League came out,
I'm
in
not
the wrong
sure.
ratio, in black and white, and all that bollocks.
I don't. It's not rated that high, right? It's rated low on Rotten Tomatoes. It's rated low on IMDb. People didn't like it or whatever. I don't. Anyway, I was
You're here to
watching it.
recommend it, are you?
I will say this about it. I'm not going to say it's the best thing I've ever watched, but if I had written Rebel Moon and that was what someone had made and put on the big screen of what I'd written, I would be chuffed to bits. I think he did I think he's done a
So,
bang up job of doing
what is
whatever he's
Rebel
done
Moon
with it.
from then? Is it like a
I
comic
don't know.
or
I'm just
something? Or
I have
just-
no idea. I'm just saying that if I happen to have
Right,
written
okay.
it, but I didn't, I don't
What
know.
if Zack
I don't know the
Snyder wrote it
background.
and made
I
it?
don't know. So maybe someone I will look at some point. I have no
Can
idea.
I ask a question?
Oh, it's from a screenplay he co-wrote with a couple of people. So I don't know. I mean, and is it Star Wars? In any other guys, it's sort of Star
Is
Wars,
it
right? It's
like a parody or
it's not a parody. It's
right,
serious.
it's played straight?
Played straight. Yeah, I'm just trying to think. Were there any sort of that sort of, Star Wars has his, they're sort of they touch on those comedic nod to camera sort of
Mhm.
things, right? Yeah, this isn't doing that as far as I can tell. I'm only halfway through the first one because it was like about 2 hours long, so I only did the first hour. But yeah, it's all right. I've definitely seen worse. It's really well made, that's for sure.
Isn't there a director's cut or like an extended cut?
Like a
Of
15-hour
this?
version
Oh
in
my
black
god,
and
I
white.
got 3 hours left. I don't need any more. I don't need.
I think you're
I think-
watching the wrong version, Fred. You need to start again.
Sid
think there's
4:3. Sid like
I
old
think
school TV ratio as well.
I think there's two parts. Here we go. Here's the first question on Google is why is Rebel Moon so badly rated? I don't know. People
What's
saying
the
here
answer?
overstuffed, underdeveloped. There's too many characters in its current state, and there's not enough time to give them meaningful depth. Sure, I don't know. Whatever. I've got a sneaking suspicion that there was a bit of a knee jerk. People just hated it for something to hate, right? I don't.
Yeah.
I'm
That's not
watching
like
it, and
people
it's
these
all
days,
right.
is
And
it?
I think it's all right. Yeah, it's. I've
What-
definitely seen worse.
What is the best thing you've ever seen, do you think? You said it's
In
not
what?
the best thing I've ever seen. You said, so what is the best thing you've ever seen, do you think? Off the top
Oh,
of
the
your head.
best thing I've ever seen.
A TV, just TV, not movies. Okay, I haven't got an answer.
Probably The Wire.
The Wire? I haven't seen
Yeah.
that.
You've never watched The Wire, dude.
No.
You should watch The Wire.
I know, but it's a bit of a commitment, isn't it?
So it's an excellent commitment.
Yeah.
You will
No,
not be
I don't watch
disappointed.
any TV now. How am I going to find time to watch The Wire?
I know you have to give something up. Something's got to give.
Mm.
I'd probably say the best thing I've ever seen is The Expanse. The
Yeah.
The
Oh,
sixth
yeah?
series of The Expanse.
Per
That's
series.
interesting.
5 or 6, I can't remember how many. There was
All of
quite a
them?
lot. The series in
Oh,
total.
I have got an answer, actually. I still think the best thing I've ever seen is Breaking Bad. That was fucking amazing.
Breaking Bad was good. Definitely not the most amazing thing I've ever seen.
No, it was just like... Because I never watched it as it was coming out. I just fucking binged it all in like about 3 weeks. The whole fucking lot.
Oh, did you? Right.
And it was just like... I couldn't have imagined watching it one a week. Because I'd have been like... When the season cliffhangers came out, I was like... Fuck waiting 18 months to see the next episode of this. That would have fucking done my head in.
It is one of the only things I can think of where it's the good guy turns bad.
Yeah,
But in
don't
such
spoilers.
a way that in such a way that you can kind of understand it until he goes completely off his rocker, and then you're just watching a baddie.
Mm.
But
I
you still
don't think
kind of
it didn't ever do the Walking Dead thing when it was like, this is going on too fucking long for me. Anyway. But, yeah,
So anyway,
was
that's
fucking
all I've
great.
got. Yeah, so hopefully I'll definitely keep watching Rebel Moon.
All right. Well,
It
I'll
was
look
good.
at
I
it
enjoyed
on see what service it's on.
Don't. You should go watch The Wire. Don't watch Rebel Moon. Go
Well,
watch The Wire.
How am I going to watch The Wire? I don't even know how to
Just
start
figure it
watching
out.
that. I could
Oh,
pay for it, I
jeez.
suppose.
Yeah.
I ain't got
It's
Sky for long,
bad.
have I? I'm not going to smash through that in a week.
You definitely do want to do the first 3 series of The Wire. Maybe
How many
4.
It's not one of those
5.
20-odd episodes a season, is it?
Oh, dude, stop whining.
I'm not whining. I just need to know.
Just
what sort of
watch it.
commitment am I in here?
You're into a good commitment. You'll enjoy it.
Yeah,
Cool.
It's a bit old now, though, isn't it? It's got the guy from the bank adverts in it.
Oh
hasn't it?
my god, forget it then. All right, everyone. Like we all know he's never going to watch it. He's already
Probably.
put up.
I don't
enough
watch anything,
roadblocks.
so probably not. All I
Oh,
watch is football.
You watched Ted
Moving-
Lasso?
I watched a bit of Ted Lasso. It was all right. It wasn't that great. I've got.
All right, let's move
I'm
on.
going to be paying for Apple TV soon, I think. So
No,
I'll be
he's
catching up
annoying
on
me
everything.
now. Let's move on. Let's move on to what we've been playing then.
Well, this is going to be a bit short section.
Good. I'm hungry.
Good job, though. We had loads of other stuff to talk about.
Are we late or early for you now, Fraser?
Late.
Right.
It's nearly bedtime.
It's food time right now.
Why you normally have food? Oh no, you normally have food after the show, don't you?
Normally you're finished by now.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Sorry
Hurry
that
up.
you fucking changed your clocks the wrong time of the week. We own time over here. You know that.
Oh my
It's
god,
called-
what are you ranting on about?
It's
Talk
called
about what you've been
Greenwich
playing.
Mean Time, which means all clocks are set by our time, which means you change your clocks at the wrong fucking time. Change your clocks at the right time.
I heard it's to allow Halloween candy sweets to be sold.
That's fucking
when it's
months
still-
away.
Well, no, because it affects the other side.
No, it
Like,
doesn't
then
have to, does it?
What are you talking about?
Anyway, games.
Games.
Games,
Come on.
games. Neil.
I've only got one game.
Good.
Oh my god. Pinch me, I'm dreaming.
Well, I've played Gran Turismo, but I'm not talking about. I play Gran Turismo every fucking day.
And
Almost
Hunt. I
without
played
fail.
some Hunt this week. Too.
Yeah, I've played literally twice this week, I think.
Yeah. That's all I played this week was a couple of games of Hunt with you.
Wow, you've really been busy watching watching Rebel Moon.
I like the fact that we're talking about games, but not actually talking about the games that we want to talk about.
Games are for losers.
Yeah, it turns out. Maybe we should do a not watching TV podcast. So am I talking about my game then? And then just
Yeah.
the Dave show for the rest like the
Then
next
it's the
10
Dave
minutes.
show. It's not
Well,
gonna be
I've
out.
played Avowed.
Awesome.
I've played
Right.
23 hours of Avowed now.
Gonna
And
watch
I've
The
all
Wire.
about.
literally just left the first area and started in the second area. Because it's like weird. It's like it's not a full open world. The map, there's a big map, which is quite big. That's why it's a big map. And each zone is obviously part of that map. So the Dawn Shore is where you start the game, effectively, or you start the proper game. And that's like the southwest corner of the map, the big map. But that once you're in that map, it's largely an open world. It's quite a big area, but if you go into like a dungeon, it like cuts like a loading screen or whatever.
Yeah.
But to go into the dungeon, they're not enormous. I don't know. I'm a bit surprised it wasn't just like a seamless like just fuck off into the dungeon. But for whatever reason, that's how they've got it working in this game. It's not a problem because it doesn't, because I've got it on a fucking SSD or whatever. It doesn't take long to load. You don't crawl through a little crawl space. There's no like that sort of shit. You just literally goes to like a loading screen and you're in. I don't know how many of those areas that I've missed, but basically, I pretty much every quest I found, side quest that I walked across and spoke to a person, I think I cleaned everything out in that first area, including the treasure maps. Well, two treasure maps that I found. Could be some more of those, I guess, that I haven't found. There's definitely bits of like, not fog of war, but there's bits of the map that I haven't been to and uncovered because it fills in the map as you walk around. And there's a thing called a totem that you have to find 6 pieces for. And I went and found, it gives you like, I found somewhere, there was a shop that was selling the clues. It was like a thing that said, this is the clues basically to find all of the pieces of this totem, 6 pieces. And it's like a little riddle for each piece. And then you have to like, it tells on the Isle of Bandits or something or other, atop the Isle of Bandits, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, well, I think that's this place. And then I just fucking trek around that place for like an hour till you find the thing, or maybe 10 minutes, depending on how clever you are. Or go
An hour then, was it?
whether you go the right direction, or miss something that you could have maybe spotted at a different time of day. Maybe nighttime makes it easier to go to that one, particularly because it's, you know, there's sources of light on the island, which may help it know where you can go. And so once you get those 6 pieces, each one gives you like a buff. When you get all 6, it was like, I can't remember one of them. I can't even remember one of them off the top of my head right now. But it's like, there was one like, when you revive one of your companions, you get a so many second boost of whatever. I can't remember now what it was, but you know, varying qualities of buff for your character. But they're like, you go to your camp and you put them in a place, and once you put them in the place, they're active. I think there is a different totem in each area for you to find the 6 pieces for. So you get to choose, what if you get the second one, what buffs you may like to have active.
What buffs did you like to have active?
Whatever that game, because it's the only one I've got. So there were 6 buffs. I can't remember all of them now. One of them was like when you revive a character, one of your party, then you get a boost to something. I can't even remember what it was now. But there's all things like that.
Are they good buffs or are they shit buffs?
Yeah, there's no shit ones. They're buffs. They're not nerfs. They're all buffs. So they're all good things.
But I mean, sometimes there's a buff which is a great buff, right? And then there's a buff which is like, wow.
Well, they're all.
Like when,
I don't think they're
like when you're playing Alan Wake and you get all those things off the wall, the gold shields or whatever like that, and they give you a clue or a note or something like that, a riddle. I can't remember what it was. And then you go into your drawer and it says, "Here's a buff. Choose from one of the 3 buffs." They're all pretty shit. None of them.
You don't get to choose any of these. Like there's whatever they are.
My point. I know, but my point is, like, are they decent buffs?
They're okay. They're not going to make it. They're not going to game change it. They're all just buffs.
I don't even know why I'm asking this and why I'm so interested.
But, they're just little incremental benefits for your character.
I guess it all adds.
But if you don't have, you don't have. If you don't have them, you don't have them. Whatever. If you have them, you're like, that's nice. I've got that thing. You might not even notice that it happens, but occasionally you might
like a buff.
Oh,
like
that's
if
cool.
you get if you get killed, you get a revive. Right. That's a great buff.
There's
right. A buff where it's like every time you take damage, every time you hit your opponent, you heal for 1 HP. That's a shit
That's
buff,
this.
right?
Is it? Well, there's buffs. Like there's unique pieces of armor, unique weapons. Well, there's like unique footwear, unique gloves. Well, actually, all gloves and footwear seem to provide. Well, not all of them, but quite a lot of them provide a buff of some kind. Some of them are like a pair of boots I've got is like plus 15 carry capacity and plus 10% parkour ability or whatever. So you're like, I don't know, I don't even know what the parkour ability is of a standard. Like you're doing a lot of climbing around on platforms and stuff to go up rocks, faces, and shit like that. I don't know what the 10% buff, but yeah, they're called the bricklayers boots or something. I think I've got. I don't know why they need to climb up fucking platforms unexpectedly, but you know they do. And it was the plus 15 carry capacity. On the previous pair of boots I had plus 5 carry capacity, and it's a slightly different buff. But so there's loads of fucking different buffs available on pieces of armor, or you have one piece of armor which affects your defense numbers. You could wear heavy, medium, or light armor. Obviously, the penalties are for wearing heavy armor. It's heavy, so you can carry less stuff, other stuff, but at the same time, it absorbs more damage, so you take less damage from the enemies. But I like medium armor is what I go with. So you're still fairly nimble. And then I wear like a pair of boots that it buffs my carry capacity. I've not really found myself being encumbered at all. A couple of times I've like, oh yeah,
maybe the boots are really doing overtime for you.
I don't think it's the boots. I think it's just like, I don't need that shit. Get rid of it.
I'm not going to pick it up. Yeah. You're good at inventory management.
Well, what does help, the only thing that carries weight are weapons and armor.
Which I love. I can't stand shit where, like, you know, you pick up a loaf of bread and it's like 2.
Yeah, there's none of that shit. So all of your health items got fucking loads of different like pieces of food, potions, like for boosting your health. None of that carries any weight.
Yeah, none of that should ever carry weight.
So I've just got fucking loads of it. All my upgrade materials that I've picked up, my fucking pelt that I've dismantled any pieces of armor, they don't carry weight. So all your weight is in armor and weapons, and that's it. The boots and the gloves don't have any weight. It's just pure, like a piece of armor, which is it's represented as torso armor, but obviously it affects your whole body. And the gloves and the boots, they're cosmetic, but they obviously carry these buffs, and that you can, like, when you first start the game, you've got this fancy like outfit, but it's got shit stats. But they have this transmogrify thing, so you apply the good armor, and then you find the cosmetic that you want. You can't see it yourself. I don't know why you'd buffer, but you can right click and it'll just like in the screen you'll look like something, but you'll be carrying the stats of whatever piece of armor you're actually wearing.
Yeah, that's quite. I've seen quite a few games.
But it's a first-person game, so I don't see the point, honestly.
Oh right, okay.
No one else is in the game world. It's just on the screen. Right. When you go into the inventory management thing, you can see what you're wearing.
Third person.
Well, there might. I've not played in third person. There might be a way to play in third person, but I haven't. There's not an option, obviously, to go. Do you want to play in third person? But I feel like if you can transmogrify your outfits, why isn't there a third person? I don't know. But anyway, I played in first person, so I haven't bothered to try and find out if there was a third person, because it actually feels quite good in first person, considering it's like melee combat. And you're like swords and sorcery kind of thing, and guns. It feels good, and I'm playing mouse and keyboard. There's no like haptic feedback or anything like that. So yeah, just finding out more details and exhausting all of the quests until that list of stuff is gone to do. I like the treasure maps. There was one that was like, I could see. I was like, oh, I think I know where that is. So it just gives you like a picture, and it's like there's a wall. I'm like, well, I reckon that's the town. And most of the stuff, like all of that totem stuff, I was like, it gives you a clue, and it's like, what's it saying? In the dwarf's lair, blah blah blah, underneath this mountain and all that. I'm like, well, it sounds like that could be in another region. So I did do a quick Google and go, is all this stuff in the Dawn Shore area? And it was like, all of the stuff is in that area. I was like, okay, that's all I need to know. I didn't need to know where it is, but I just need to know that clue is somewhere in this area. And I don't have to fucking trek off to 17 hours down the line. Fine, remember that's the thing that I need to look for. So it feels like there's all these little details that like, we're not going to give you something here that has no relevance here. It's like, we give you this thing to do, you can do it, rather than you got to fucking sit that in your quest for fucking 100 hours until you can get to the next point 3 areas down the line for you to remember to do it. So that I've appreciated all of the little details about how they're not just giving you a load of bullshit. There is a load of bullshit, if you want to call it that, in terms of weird story stuff. But I'm like, sometimes I'm interested in side quest stories. They're interesting. Other times I'm like, skip through the dialogue.
So sorry, are you finished this or what?
No, there's fucking loads to do. I finished the first area. There's fucking loads.
All right, okay. All right.
I don't know how big the game is, but like I say, I played 23 hours in the first area. I don't know how many areas there are. I've literally just started the second area. I don't know if that's going to take me 23 hours to do that. I feel like it probably won't. Because, I'll just say that now. That's famous last words.
Yeah.
But, because obviously a lot of the first area was a lot of learning how to play the game as well. So,
right.
I feel like I'm in there and I know what I'm doing. And I know that if I pick up a common wand, I'm just dismantling that motherfucker straight away. I pick it up, dismantle it, pick it up, dismantle it, get rid of it, turn it into fucking resources to upgrade the weapons that I actually got. I'm not doing any upgrading of anything that ain't a unique weapon. I've got 3 spell books that do different things. I've gone back to... No, there's no cooking. You just pick up food.
Which doesn't weigh anything.
No, good, thankfully. And the worst thing I picked up is spoiled vegetables. I'm like, why did I pick up a spoiled cabbage? It does 100% chance of poisoning you. I don't know why I've picked that up. So that's in my stash in camp. Because I'm just like, I don't want to accident. I don't know. I haven't found one yet, other than maybe killing yourself if you're stuck somewhere.
Right.
So anyway, I don't know what it is about Avowed that I like. That maybe it's just it's modern, and so the sort of game design is a lot better than games that came out maybe 10, 15 years ago that everyone goes on about being amazing. But I could never get into for whatever reason. But this one's got me.
Yeah, fair enough. It's
And
nice
I'm
when that
playing
happens.
Yeah. So, Avowed is a big thumbs up.
Yeah, sounds
That's
like it.
Xbox, is it?
It's,
Xbox
well, I'm
Game
playing
Pass?
on PC Game Pass, but yeah, it's on
Yeah, maybe I
Xbox
should
Game
get on
Pass.
board that.
There's a lot of game there. You might have to pay for a couple of months.
Yeah, I could do with a nice sit-down game. I didn't have on my list actually before we go to the Dave section. Sorry, I was wrong. I did have Laura-Lee. I want to say I played Laura-Lee in the Laser Eyes, but what I'm tending to do is like, it's perfect on the Apple TV, right? And the Steam Link, because I can just come down Saturday, fire it up, put it on. If there's a puzzle, put it on the screen and then go around, make my tea, make my bacon sandwiches. You're looking at the puzzle, you're having to think, back and forth. So I did that quite a bit on Saturday. And I think I'd spoken to you the night before and said that I was getting close to stuck, or
It was the LV puzzle, wasn't it?
Well, the LV puzzle was one of the
sorted?
SC Bolt puzzles.
Did you just look it up in the end? I think that's what I did.
No, that was the one I had told you. That was the first one I did look up. That's the only puzzle I've looked up the answer on. No.
Was it obvious when you've looked it up, or was it? Did you look it up and went, "Oh, I'd have never got that"?
No, I still would never have got it. I don't think it's cool. It's interesting, the answer.
I know that it was drive. I can remember that puzzle, but I can't remember the fucking answer. And I know because
Well,
I
the
just remember
LV
being,
one.
I just remember being stuck on it for fucking ages and
So it was.
refusing to look it up.
Yeah.
And go, no, I'm not
Yeah,
going to
I'm
look
not
it
going
up
to
because
go
I've
through the
solved
puzzle,
it.
but
I'm going to solve every fucking puzzle in this game so far without looking everything up. I must be able to do this.
I did have 2 SC Bolt puzzles on the screen, which I was looking at, and I had those eureka moments. Both times, actually, my wife was sitting next to me, but where it would just suddenly, I just suddenly saw it. Like, there's the answer. I knew, and I'd lit one of them. I literally been staring at, a long time. Back to it, back to it, back to it. And then it just clicked, and I went, there it is. It was hidden in there. The answer was hidden in front of it. Was right in front of me, but I just didn't know what I was looking for. And they're very good puzzles. It's like the LV puzzle. The answer is there, and it's staring you in the face. But unless you're looking at it, you don't see it, right? It's very a weird one to say. So I had a couple of those moments where I was just like, got it, okay, and just to get that crumb of a success is enough that drives you to play it for another couple of hours. And I was stuck at the bit that I was stuck on, which was breaking, because I think I'd said to you, I just wasn't making any progress. And so I went round to every section again, looked around. What am I missing? And that's the way that I've got to play this game, right? Is I've got to come back to it, go round, be calm. Don't be trying to push through it. Because if you're trying to push through it, you're going to get fucked over, right? Because you just can't hurry up the answers to some of this stuff.
No.
And returning with a fresh pair of eyes after a break for a bit works wonders, right? And I went back to the air and I still couldn't find where am I going to get through? And then I was like, something here. I know all these parts are here that I can't get through, and I just can't figure out what. And one of them was the elevator. And I went back to the elevator, and it's got a sign on it that says "Elevator out of order." Signed by the repair people or whatever like that. And then the phone number was scratched out, and you press the elevator button, and nothing happens because obviously the elevator's out of order. And I was just fucking I don't know at that one. I mean, I'm kicking myself, right? But of course, and spoilers here for anybody who
There's a phone.
There's a fucking phone book, right? By the phone.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, oh my God, are you serious? I suddenly twigged because I'd been using the phone because I started going back to the phone book a bit more to call people.
Have you found any other numbers in the book?
Yeah, I haven't done any random ones. I figure that there's going to be something hidden in there on some random ones. I have had to use the phone to call somebody.
That's a repeated use. The phone, the telephone. Using the phone book is definitely something.
For sure.
Not loads, but it's like, I know what I need to do. I need to get that phone.
I know the phone book. Yeah, get that phone book on the go again. Yeah. So of course, then I got the phone. Then they. Well, you know what they did, and this is more spoilers, right? Is that you find the number in the phone book for the company that is mentioned on the elevator repair. So you call them, and I can't remember whether it was. I can't remember whether somebody answers it or they. I think somebody answers it and say, "No, there's nothing we can do. We're not going to repair it," and then they shut the phone down. You're like, "Fuck." So I haven't made any progress at all. And then you leave the area, and then it goes, the phone's ringing, and so you go, "Oh, okay." And you go back, and the guy goes, "Yeah, they were just fucking around with you. The elevator works now." I like that. I thought that was pretty good. So the elevator opened up.
I definitely remember phone. It's been a long time, but I definitely remember using the phone to phone those elevator people. And for some reason, somehow, the elevator started working after that, for sure.
Yeah, it does. So so that was good, and then that opened up a whole new section.
There's like really subtle clues all the time, but once you're in there's some that are just completely different though. It's weird. It's like you got into a train of thought, and you're like, I know what I'm fucking doing now. I'm on the same level, and all the fucking puzzles are getting solved. Blah blah blah. And then all of a sudden you'll be like, what the fuck? This is all different. But yeah, and I don't know how much of the story stuff you've seen. But that's like the Twin Peaks kind of stuff, is the fucking weird shit, the story stuff that's going on.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
That is fucking weird.
I go onto the computer and I check my progress, and I'm like a third of the way through, I think. And then there's tons of stuff I still haven't, and I'm definitely not a third of the way through finding everything that's in the game. Yeah. Like my percentages.
I think it was 20 odd hours I did. It's not It's
Oh,
quite a lot.
I'm gonna be well above that. I mean, I'm definitely not powering through maybe like you did.
I don't know. I feel
why.
like you get on a bit of a run. There's a lot of stuff you can do. You can make big chunks of progress.
Yeah. So anyway, so I'll keep on that, and no doubt, I hope I don't lose the impetus to play that.
It's definitely.
really
I
good.
liked it. I really liked it.
It's
I thought it was-
perfectly suited though to me sitting down, like I say, up in the living room upstairs. Come back to it. Don't have to, if I'm paying attention to other people in the house, that's okay. I can still stop what I'm doing and talk to people.
You can
Like
pause it and.
Well,
it
it's not. You
lends
don't need to
itself
know to
well.
pause it because there's no time pressure on anything. You just
Yeah,
stood
you
there.
can just stop
There's
playing
nothing
and talk to
happening.
Oh,
people
right.
or whatever, right? There's no, it's not
It's
the
pure.
same
It's
as like,
almost a pure puzzle game. There was like a couple of times later on, and it's like
yeah, the only real sort of gaming that you're doing most of the time is walking from one puzzle to the next. So
yeah.
so it's great. Yeah, top notch. So
Awesome.
I'll get that in the show notes.
Right.
Yeah. So Dave,
I'm quick fire off a few of these. Dungeon Crawler had an update, a new character.
that's
This is
the
still early access
God,
though.
right? Yeah.
Still early access. Yeah, I don't. It's not 1.0 or anything like that. It's actually 0.7.4
Ooh, we're getting there.
at the moment. So yeah, new character. A bit of a change to the difficulty modifiers. It has a debt system, and you've got to progress through the debt system. Each debt option gives a slightly different variance on how hard it is and what like enemies have more health or upgrades are more expensive and things like that. So they changed it up. Yeah, smash through that. Yeah, complete the game with the new character and went through all the debt things. Yeah, really good. Loved it. Can't wait to actually they do a full game.
What is the plan? Do we know for like full release? Is it like
No
more
idea.
characters or?
No idea. I think it's just they're just upgraded.
Are they figuring it out as they go along?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So I'm not adverse to that. I still enjoy the game, and yeah, I'll play it when there's new updates. But yeah, I've completed everything that I've updated now. So yeah, happy with that. What else? A game I want to talk about maybe a bit longer is a game called Void Crew. I was playing this with Matt and Sarah.
I know this game. Why do I know this game?
I do know. I don't think you've. I can't see that you've played it. Maybe you had installed it and then
I think
uninstalled it.
somebody's played it before. I haven't played it, but I'm sure somebody else has mentioned it or talked about it before.
Yeah.
Stan got it. I think maybe Stan's got it.
I can't
Oh,
see
it
if
could be.
Stan's got it.
Anywho,
No. It's basically a cooperative PVE where you are in a spaceship and you take on missions and you choose a spaceship, and then depending on how many people of you there are, you take on different roles in a spaceship. Either you're like you man the guns, or you're running around fixing things, or you're the pilot.
like Lovers
Or
in a Dangerous Space Time.
I never
Oh,
played that.
that's a callback.
It is, isn't it? But that was the same
Blimey.
sort of thing. You were like a
Yeah, but
spacecraft, and you had
this is
four
first
of
person
you.
Void Crew.
Right.
I know, but the basic concept is four of you are manning different things. Someone's on the
Oh,
shield,
okay.
someone's on, moving.
It's like
the
multiplayer
ship.
into the breach, not into the breach. What's that fucking other thing? FTL.
No,
Except
yeah, a
it's
little
not a
bit like that.
roguelike.
Yeah, it is a roguelike.
Is it?
You do
So
your
it
missions.
is like that, but it's first person, 3D.
Yeah. You do your
And multiplayer.
missions, and depending on how you do your missions, and if you get to the end, you come back and you upgrade your level and gives you different access to different abilities. You can choose one of four upgrade paths, but you can mix and match different upgrade paths to get different abilities. So it's like engineers or pilots, which give you bonuses when you're piloting. Engineers give you upgrades to fixing things, and then there's a gunner, and then there's another one. I can't remember what it is. But yeah, and then but in your upgrade in your skills, you've got different branches of sorry, not different branches. You've got 4 different build types that you can choose. So once you upgrade, you're not locked into one. You can choose a different one and go, I want to be an engineer or I want to be a gunner, and then like build your loadout through that, and then you choose which one you want to go on for the different missions. I think there's 2 or 3 different ships, and the ships are laid out slightly different depending on some of the choices that you make. So some are better at energy-based weapons, or some are better at the pilots or the speed of the ship is better. Slight differences, variations on it, but yeah, we played a couple of hours the other night. Really fun. There is a lot of communication and understanding, and knowing what the other people are saying or what the problems are, especially when shit hits the fan.
So how many
And
people can you have? Is it
it's
up to 4?
so up to 4. They are working on having it up to 8. But there are mods already that you can download and people run to have 8 players already. So the bigger ships, yeah, officially support 4, but that like they can take up to 8 people running them.
But it's just PVE, right?
It's just PvE. Yeah, yeah. It's real good fun. It's just a good get together and shouting at each other to do things and get things and not
What's that
fuck it
all
up.
about then?
Yeah.
That doesn't happen.
So yeah, that's real good game. Yeah, I saw Matt and Sarah had been playing it, and I don't know. Well,
Did you
I'd
just
played
buy
it
it
ages
recently?
ago.
Or did you
Yeah,
buy? Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. I think it just popped up in my feed or on Steam or somewhere. I was like, oh, actually, I quite like the idea of some co-op gaming. And seeing they'd played and said, anybody what you up for a game? Yeah, all right. So I downloaded it and yeah.
All right.
Nice when people accommodate you.
Yeah, well, they've already bought it, so it wasn't too much hassle for them. So yeah, that was Void Crew.
Okay. Does everybody have to own a copy of that then, or is it just some one person?
Yeah, everyone's got to own a copy of it.
Mm.
The another game I've been playing is X4 Foundations. I know I've talked about it before. I'm putting in so much time in this.
I keep seeing it coming up when I should be in bed that you're playing.
Yeah, I think I saw you playing it last night.
Yeah. I have. It's one of these games that you could leave running like overnight because it just sort of.
What, I mean, you've
ticks
accidentally
over.
fallen asleep at the console.
There is some waiting around, but I'm just. I don't know. It's so easy to go back to players. I'm still playing it vanilla, no DLC. There is lots of DLC, and it was all on offer. And I was like, I could buy this. It's like there's like 7 bits of DLC, and I think I might just play this game vanilla, finish the game that I'm playing, and then call it a day.
There is
Not
an end to
play
this game then.
There is kind of a natural end. Like the end that I want to, the end that I'm going with this game is, I am a galactic, hundreds of billionaires, and I've killed all the factions that I don't like.
It's just
and
you
every,
left, and you've
and
wiped out
and
the
every,
rest of civilization.
yeah, and everybody else bows to me and my galactic might. That's kind of where I've got to a point is like there's nothing else I really want to do in regards to the factions or anything like that. I don't think there is really an end game, but I set these self-imposed limits on. Like I'm bored now because there's nothing else to do. There's no point raging war against these other people because I'll just crush them. So yeah.
They're meaningless to me.
Yeah, pretty much. But there's still a lot to do. I've played, what's that? Nearly 100 hours, probably over 100 hours,
Jesus.
and and you
This
could
week.
probably you could probably call it mid game. So I haven't set up my own.
You've been doing only 3 in the mornings.
Yes, one.
No.
At least one. But that was literally that was because I was like, oh, I just want to do this one thing. I want it, and then it just yeah. I just I have a problem.
We all have problems, Dave. Don't worry about it.
So yeah. That was it. That's X4. I'll continue to play it. I love it. I noticed that Sarah started playing it recently as well. I was like, oh dear.
You started someone else on it.
Yeah.
See, this is the one you can play like your own starfighter as well as like this grand strategy type game. Is that right?
Yeah. It's a both. It's both. You can play it as like you're a like in a fighter and you can.
But can you do both at the same time? So you can play like you can be Elon Musk of space in your spaceship, like a small solo starfighter, and then rule the galaxy at the same time.
Yeah, and create factories and production chains and manage mining and traders for the.
But then you can go and blow the shit out of other things.
Yeah, you can buy or create carriers and hundreds of fighter ships in those carriers, and then send them off into the front of the war, and you can support them as a fighter. Yeah.
What happens if you die?
You just respawn. There's no real.
Okay.
There's no real. I'm not sure if I've died yet. I know I've been blown up in a spaceship, but when you do a certain amount of research, you can just teleport to somewhere else. So I blew up in a spaceship and I just teleported to a different spaceship. So I don't think I died. I was ejected from my ship, but never truly died. So I don't know actually. I might just I might give it a go.
Make sure
maybe it says game over. Maybe it says game over.
Make sure you've saved it beforehand.
And it deletes your save.
That's one thing I have to say about Avowed. I forgot to mention. I have had quite a lot of crashes, so I am doing a lot of manual saves.
Oh yeah.
So like get to camp, save the game. So I want it to fucking
crash your desktop?
No, it was just like I don't know. It's just completely random. Like it will run for hours, fine, and then it will just be like just putting it along. And just crashes, and I'm like, "Why did you just crash there? I wasn't doing anything." No, it just comes up. It goes. You can hear it. It goes like does something weird,
though, isn't it, Neil?
And it goes. Yeah, exactly. It's a PC thing, I think, and it just goes.
No, it's your PC thing.
No. It's like a window pops up.
You got hunt crashes that are happening now, right? You've been look. You got hunt crashes.
Like my PC's.
You're in denial, man. You got hunt crashes all the time.
Do I need to reinstall Windows or something like that?
No one else has a problem with them. You've now got a Avowed
hardware-wise, it doesn't make any sense.
I'm not saying I haven't got the answer for you, buddy. I'm just saying, maybe.
I have loads of other games that don't crash.
But I don't know what to tell you.
It's just the 2 games that you play mainly are crashing randomly.
The 2 games you actually play are crashing all the time.
It doesn't all the time. It's just random. It's just like, what the fuck? I don't know. It's not like I'm doing anything intensive at the time. It just goes, no, for some reason.
Maybe it just needs a bit of moral support.
That's weird. I've got all these hardware monitors all going now to see if there's anything that's like a clue to send like the RAM's just suddenly got maxed out or something. No, nothing.
I think, you're answering your own question. Like, first of all, do you have RGB shit all over the place? Yes. Do you have all Steam Deck and all that sort of shit attached to you? Yes.
Steam Deck.
So you now
Stream Deck. Yeah.
Stream Deck and all that sort of stuff. You've got probably fucking thousands of apps installed on your PC.
Not really.
You've got probably more than most.
Well,
you're sitting there telling us, no, I'm talking. The other thing is, you're saying as well now, I'm running hardware monitors. I've got this going to look at this. Dude, you're answering in my technical world. You're answering your question by answering the question.
How do you find out what's wrong if you don't monitor things? I don't know. What else can you do?
No, you're missing.
How do you test it?
You're missing the larger point. I'm just saying, you have a lot going on with your PC, So
Not.
oh man, you are the biggest person in denial. You just you keep looking the other way. Don't worry about it. When you get in your Fiesta and it's making horrendous screeching noises, just turn the radio up and and just carry on your
I
day.
fixed my Fiesta when it made a funny noise.
Not
thank
until
you.
fucking half of it fell off down the road.
Anyway, I don't know why it crashes. There's no obvious reason for it to crash, as far as I'm
Right.
concerned. But I'd say I'm just like, I don't know if it's a common thing on the PC. I haven't looked.
Of course you
But
haven't.
it's not like every 5
You're
minutes.
just blaming the game. The poor game hasn't done anything but try and provide you entertainment.
It doesn't give you anything though. It doesn't go, oh, there was a memory problem or whatever. It just fatal error. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
I guess just a clash, right? Some driver clashing with something else, or
I don't fucking know.
of course you
But
don't.
yeah. I just make sure I save every now and again. But I'm like, I've just done a load of shit. I'm going to save that. It does quite a lot of auto saves, but occasionally I'm like, I'll make sure I'm fucking saving that right now.
Yeah, you get good at it, right? You're like,
So, talking
Go for
about
a save.
crashes, let's talk about my next game on my
Oh, he's slick, isn't he? Isn't he good?
list. Wreckfest 2 has
Nice.
been released.
What sort of crashes are you
Amazing.
having, Dave?
Both the good and the bad ones.
Oh yeah.
So both the car crashes and the crashes to windows. So I have opinions. Wreckfest 2, which is
You're not going to say
admittedly-
there's a lack of content, are you? Because that's one of the couple of the reviews I read. I was like, are you fucking seriously complaining about a lack of content on an early access game that blatantly says it's not finished?
So, Wreckfest 2, admittedly, is early access. Could have easily been a demo in the Next Fest
Right.
demo, which it kind of should have been. Okay. And I know I'm gonna say there's a lack of content, and it was like, oh, it's early access.
It didn't sound
They-
like there was a complete
Get ready to
lack
argue
of
him,
content.
Neil.
I'm not going to.
So-
I'm just looked at what it says there is, and I'm like, and then see people saying, like, literally said what you just said. It could have been a demo. I was like, well, they did tell you exactly what is in the game
Yeah.
that you're buying.
No, right. I think what people are buying is not
You're
They're-
buying
they're
the
not-
future.
that. Yeah, they're buying the game in the future. Well, to be honest, they said there's going to be 5 tracks. There's not 5 tracks. There's 3 tracks with 5 variations of those 3 tracks.
I think it says that though.
They said 5 tracks. One of them's a reverse of the one of the tracks. That's not a new track.
Right.
So
Let me ask you some questions here, just
Go
to
for it.
just to
Go-
just
no, no,
to.
no. Go on then. Yeah.
So did you know this was coming? Because I'd only seen somebody post it yesterday, I think, or
No.
today, or whenever it
No,
was.
I knew it was going to be early access. I didn't know the restrictions on, or not the restrictions. I didn't know how early it was going to be.
What do you mean? How?
Well,
early
we knew
gonna
it was
come out?
coming though, because we'd seen about a
I-
month ago probably that it was coming out.
I heard it was coming out in March. I didn't know when in March.
No, you.
And
But
then-
well, sorry, maybe I reworded that. Did you know a Wreckfest 2 was on its way?
I knew Wreckfest 2 was on its way.
They were working on it in the background. Oh, okay,
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and the fact that I am a massive fan of Wreckfest. I play it on and off. Like I play it a couple of times a week. Not as much as Neil.
Times a week.
Yeah, not as much as Neil and his obsession with GT7.
I
Is it
play Gran
GT7?
Turismo for about half an hour to an hour a day.
Right. Yeah. Probably about what I do. Wreckfest.
I mean,
So yeah, I knew it was coming. But yeah, I knew it was going to be early access, but I didn't really understand. I wasn't aware of how little content there was and how early it was going to be. This is the game itself compared to Wreckfest, the original one, is in Wreckfest 2 is in alpha. It's there's no lap timers, there's no mini map, there's the UI for the they don't have a rev counter, they have the speed, they have some of the like they don't have certain types of damage like suspension damage. They have engine or gearbox damage, but yeah, suspension's not involved. So yeah, there's some things that are really that they don't even have a UI to show you how far behind or in front of other people you are. Whereas in Wreckfest 1, you could see you're a couple of seconds behind or a couple of seconds in front, and you have an understanding of whereabouts on the track and in what position and like everything like that. In this version,
Have you played multiplayer?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
the only thing I play.
So that
Yeah.
is there. So there's,
It's not. The UI on the screen doesn't indicate where you are, both on the
So you're
track.
playing a multiplayer race against other people.
Yeah.
That sort of functions as a multiplayer.
So
What are your Sorry, go on.
Go on.
Well,
So
I'm curious as to what your expectations of Wreckfest 2. Do you know what they were supposed to be serving up? Like so far, you're just telling me it hasn't even got a ton of stuff. That would make it Wreckfest 1, let alone Wreckfest 2.
yeah.
Right.
So I'm just going through the bad stuff at the moment.
Right.
What I will say is the model of the cars, the weight of the cars, and how the cars interact with the ground is far superior to Wreckfest 1.
Are they running on a different engine? Do you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if it's different engine.
I
Or
think
just
it must be.
model. It
Otherwise, they would have had all of the fucking features they had in Wreckfest 1 still available.
It looks and feels really good. Like,
I think it's a definitely a step up graphically. Is that right? From what I've read.
Yeah, the graphics are amazing. The car deformation to look at is absolutely fantastic. I had my car ripped in two on one of the maps. Or it
Did you
appeared
still
to be
drive it if you had front wheel drive?
It died. I don't know if you could still drive that. That would have been good. But it was basically in half. The car that I was driving. In Wreckfest 1, you had damage on your wheels and they were like slightly like wobbly, and then like the ability to lose a wheel, but that was very rare. Apart from on the high damage models. On this Wreckfest 2, you can have the wheels deflate and then you lose the tire and still drive on the rims, and it's still drivable. It's still weird. It's a bit weird, but obviously it pulls to one side, and you can also lose the
It's
rim
fine.
as well.
Carry on. Not a problem.
But yeah, on one race I lost both the rear tires, and it was forward, and it was just sliding around. It was fishtailing and everything.
I
And
definitely feel like that's been a thing in Dirt Rally. That I've driven around with like one tire missing and stuff like that in Dirt Rally.
Right. But in Wreckfest, between 1 and 2, it was a big thing. What else? Yeah, the maps. There's not a lot of maps. There's only 4 cars at the moment. But which is okay because it's a good mix between fast, heavy, small and nimble, and then a middle one.
No fucking lawnmowers yet, then.
No lawnmowers or buses or anything like that. It sounds amazing. It's like the noises of the engines, and the surround of all the other cars as well, especially when you're sort of coming off the line and you're in a big pack of other cars. The sound, I don't know, sound system, the sound model, sounds really good. It sounds probably. Neil's probably like, yeah, I've been playing like this for like in Gran Turismo for God knows how long on the PS5.
Well, Gran Turismo's got fuck knows how many millions of pounds behind it. Let's be honest.
But yeah, like I don't know. It's just it feels good. It's the game is still fun. It's disappointing, and I think that's what a lot of this is. It's disappointing that the things that should be standard or easily implemented haven't been implemented at this time.
You say it's easy, Dave. Apparently it's not.
I get what you're saying, though. It's too early access.
Yeah.
Right.
But I bought a set of
Yeah.
course at Evo, and I'm like,
That's a
loads of people.
whataboutism, though.
No, but like people with very similar complaints. Like, there's nothing here. La 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 la. I'm like, fine, but I've paid 20 quid for a fucking 60 quid game or whatever, and when it comes out, it's going to be 60 quid or whatever, and I've got in for like 20 quid. And yeah, there's not a lot there now, and I've given my bit of money for them to keep going towards their 1.0.
Yeah, it's an odd one, isn't it? You'd think, because there is sort of like a cutoff point where the early access is taking the piss, and do you think this one is just a little bit, the needle's a little bit moving too close to the taking the piss?
I think it's because the next fest was not that long ago. There were some really good demos, like quite a lot of game in some of these demos that were free, and yeah, this is like after the fact. There's not a lot of game there, but
you know when it comes out though, when it's finished, which is hopefully going to be within 12 months.
Yeah, that's it. They don't even have a date on it.
That was one of my questions, if there's a timeline on it.
No, they've got a content update in May.
That could be a massive content though, and that could be shitloads. You never know. It could be like half the game is finished by then. Who knows?
It could be. There's a. What's funny is tell us what's next? Question mark. Like
I saw that on the
after
lineup.
that.
They were obviously looking for a lot of feedback. Put some more fucking shit in your game. Basically, is the last bit of feedback.
And then a full game with like a fully fledged modes and
fully functioning UI,
career and multiplayer modes with progression,
with a HUD.
With
you think
the car customization that's not included this time.
That sounds but that said that's going to be there.
Said it's going to be there, yeah.
So all the stuff from the one is going to be there. It's just not there now. Maybe it's because there's so much there already.
There's a little bit of bad taste. Like,
I think the
publisher is THQ, right? So it's not exactly
it's not no
indie
money, is
title, is it?
No. The problem is Wreckfest 1 is still fully playable, still an amazing fun game to play. It's had years of development on it. Yes, there is bugs and stuff. But the things like today, I fell through the map. I got knocked outside of the map and I fell through it, and then I got disconnected from server. It's like, that's not really what should be in a game that I paid 20 quid for.
Yeah.
Random crashes to Windows because like I've tried to join a server and join the spectator game before it loaded on my computer and it crashed.
Yeah, so it's not a great early access experience, is it?
No. There's early access and then there's like
a little bit of a piss take. It feels like
a bit of a piss take. There has been an update today with a few changes like just optimizations and trying to address some of these crashes. I'm happy.
Do you think it came out in early access because people really wanted it to come out?
I think they needed.
If they'd have given it another month,
I just think they needed a bit of money. There's been a lot of people playing it,
and that's why I was saying about THQ being the publisher. They're not a small publisher, right?
No.
So,
but no one's got any money apparently these days, have they?
Well, I mean, no, but I'm not blaming them. At the end of the day, I don't know. There probably does need to be.
Do you think Steam needs to say, if your game is coming out in early access, this is the bare minimum it has to have?
It shouldn't be crashing.
You can't say it's not going to crash.
I know it's a tough one, right? I hear what you're saying. I don't know. That's an interesting.
Because they've done things like, if your fucking game's got AI in it, you can fuck off. That's not coming on Steam. And there's things that they've said that is not acceptable. So is there a line they need to draw in early access? And say,
I'm sure you could make a complaint to Steam, or if they see enough people refunding it, right?
Well, that's it.
What's the reason for the refund? This is
I-
taking the piss.
Yeah, I haven't hit my 2-hour limit, so I could technically like ask for a refund.
But
Like,
you know you're going to buy it anyway.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it? It's
So-
worth. Is it worth the price of access for what you're going to get in 2 years' time, or is
Yeah.
it going to? Is it worth the gamble that maybe it doesn't go to completion because everyone's like, this is a fucking piss take, and they run out of money and they don't ever finish the game?
Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah. Interesting.
So yeah, it's, I just thought I have
I'm
to play it.
disappointed. I was hoping you were going to come and say, what's there is great. Unfortunately, there's not a lot there.
I am. I don't know. Maybe I've missold it. I am impressed with the looks, the feel, what maps there are. They've done very well. There is some interactivity. There was some interactivity with what was on the um, racetracks before, but they've upped it a lot. There's a lot more destructibility. They do need to change some of the values of what you hit in the destructibility and how that affects your cars. Like I hit a tire and it like basically wiped out my front bumper, like all my defense at the front, which shouldn't have happened. So there's like they've got to do a few tweaks and stuff on that. So yeah, I'm disappointed because it's not better, but I'm wondering if I was expecting more because I love the game. And I will play it. I will play more of this. I'm not going to just go back to Wreckfest 1 and just continue play that. I will play more Wreckfest 2. I just hope they do updates, optimizations, fixes these crashes.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
now they've got impetus, right, or incentive to do it because there's a lot of people with money now
Well, that's
paying
it.
very close
Yeah,
attention.
yeah.
So if anything's going to give them a little bit of a rocket, they've probably given
Yeah.
it to themselves.
I think this is done quite well. I've seen a lot of press about it.
That's what I mean. I
May-
feel like a lot of people were eager for Wreckfest 2.
yeah.
Like the fan base of Wreckfest 1 were like, oh, we can't wait for Wreckfest 2 because we've seen like it's going to be better graphics, it's going to be better sound, it's going to have eventually
Yeah.
more stuff.
Yeah. Because
But
Wreckfest original.
did they
came
just
out
go a bit early? Yeah, I mean that was something. It
2018?
wasn't even called Wreckfest when that came out.
I think it was Next Car
Next
Game.
car game, yeah.
Yeah,
The
and that was
shittest
all
name ever.
early access and janky, and I don't think we paid for it, did we?
Yeah, I think
I've
we
got
must
a
have paid
feeling
for it.
that I don't think we did, and I
Yeah,
think
pretty sure we must have.
I don't think I paid for it. I think
Maybe you didn't pay for it. Maybe because you knew somebody in the old days.
No,
I can't believe it was free.
I have a sneaking suspicion that it was
I
so
think it was
under the
very
radar
cheap. Yeah.
that it was like, if you were one of those people who just happened to get involved in it, and I think Sean put us onto it.
Right.
Really?
And then and then
no, Next Car Game is well old. That's well before PUBG, I feel like. Next Car Game.
Maybe I don't know. Anyway, look, we're at the 2-hour mark, so let's call that a show if we can, because we know we'll be talking about Wreckfest 2 again as well. So if you guys are in agreement, we can wrap this up. I will just say as I'm leaving, if you haven't heard enough of my voice, I am supposed to be on the Veteran Gamers this week. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
You got the invite, did you?
Yeah, I said to them, look, if you got another space, then give Neil a shout. And they went, fuck that.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm busy, aren't I?
So
who else
yeah,
is going to be
right.
on? Do you know? Spoilers.
No, I have no idea.
Antonio, maybe, because he's normally the one.
I'm not sure.
Who's it? Stu. Stu's around, is he? The Stu.
Stu's there. I think
Stu can. Yeah.
What are you going to talk about?
Have fun. He ain't got any fucking. He doesn't play any fucking games, does he?
No.
Hey, I don't know. Actually, Stu. Well, the reason I mentioned it was Stu just sent me the Play My Game. So.
Uh-oh.
Was it?
It's on Game Pass.
It is called
Avowed.
Oh fuck knows. I don't know. I'm downloading it. It is called
Bit of a preview.
Fear FA 98 demo.
What the fuck is that?
I don't know.
You're playing that for literally about 15 minutes.
You know that's being paid for about 15. You're optimistic.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, I was being generous.
Anywho, come on, I want to go eat now.
Right.
Any chatters that we need to thank?
Oh, it was Mint Safe is in the chat. That's it. He did say the
Nice.
future of controllers is obviously your mind. Mind control.
My
Tony
mind
Lin-
controls my meat controller.
Like Tony
Yeah.
the Mesmer.
I didn't know where that was going, Dave, honestly.
Yeah.
I didn't want to think about it too much.
Hang on. Ooh.
Oh dear, something's rising for those who are on audio only.
Thankfully, it won't get us banned.
All right, have we got any outro these days? I can't remember what
Yeah.
we're doing for an outro. Go ahead, Dave.
It's me. You ready?
Yes.
Awesome.
No.
Right. Thank you for listening to the Seal Podcast. If you'd like to ask questions or get involved, please contact us on our web form at sealpodcast.com. You can also contact us via email, which is sealpodcast@gmail.com. You can join us on the Discord server. A link is pinned on various social medias. We have YouTube and Twitch channels, which we upload and stream to. We've already done a shout out, so that's it.
Perfect. Okay. All right. Well, look, thanks very much for listening, everyone, and joining us again. Enjoyable as always. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Neil. Michelle.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, as always. Okay, we'll catch up
Play
with you
us
soon.
out.
Thanks, everyone. There you go. You heard it from the horse. Bye.
See you
Cheers,
later.
guys. Bye.